went and sat in the chairs for 6 hours this morning. This is nothing.
Oh, that's all right. I can go down here. Yeah. Can be. He's like, I'm up now.
Ryan figured out he has to
I might have grabbed yours by accident.
Oh, that's all right.
That's okay.
Yes,
I could have used this pillow.
He like said something to me like,
Yeah, I gotta get that up.
I was cracking my
You need this?
I'm like, how to say
Man, I got it. I use it.
I should take care of everybody else. Yeah, that's why I told Billy. I said, well, I gotta take care of all you kids.
Brady sneaky
Just
food.
mom. So I got one here tonight. I said, well, we're all like
when you
kids.
first
It don't
turn
matter
it
who they are.
It's like people are just sitting home waiting for Ryan.
You don't have Jackson. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've got...
What about the light? We don't need that light, right?
No.
Yeah, we're gonna turn that light off.
Yeah, just leave that one.
We got the Denny light over there.
Does she know her music?
Behind us?
He does like yes, he
Oh,
does.
Denny.
I love it.
No, I wasn't up.
All right.
I'd rather be him. I'm so sick of these freaking texts to vote.
Oh, jeez.
You got it.
Third quarter.
Let's not get ourselves. You can't see the field. That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. Tell me what
You
you
the
want.
score double checker tonight or what?
What's that?
Are you the score double checker tonight or
Well, I was supposed to be the scoreboard, but Daddy showed up, so I'm just a spotter now.
We're just up here to keep the
Yeah,
roughs
pay
on.
attention.
Oh, the mic's off, I hope.
Daddy can't see 2 feet in front of himself, so he's...
When I came in, McChesney
Yeah,
said,
she's coming.
McChesney said, I said something in the first game. You take one of the roughs off.
Yeah, did you ever get my text?
No.
I'm good. I like to stand so I can remove this. Thank you, though.
We're from both each supper, and then I get 2 more texts
Yeah.
after we walk out.
I get 2 more.
About right together.
I got the one that you were ribs and bones, and I figured you didn't get my other one, so that's why I said...
No, I didn't get them until we were a little scared.
Yeah.
She's like, right behind the sideline. I'm like, I need the camera. I was a nervous wreck.
19.
Distracted.
Hey there, Mrs. Black.
It's running, so you gotta shut it off. You got it. Run it. Close enough. Hey, you want some hand warmers? Oh, did you? I brought them in case Cole wanted one down on the field.
All right. Good call.
Oh, good, good. Rich usually has all the papers with Mr. Vanetta.
They're going to get one more.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special broadcast of high school football on D910sports.com. Tonight we have a District 10 Class 1A football semifinal playoff game where West Middlesex has traveled up north to Eisenhower to take on the Knights. This is District 10 playoff football on D910sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. And good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Hagberg alongside Cody Elms for D910sports.com with you tonight. And Cody, we've been up to Eisenhower a few times this year, but I gotta say, this one promises to probably be the best matchup we've seen all season. The Knights, Big Reds, should be a fantastic ball.
Oh, absolutely. West Middlesex only loss comes to Reynolds, and those two losses were not exactly blowouts. Eisenhower, on the other hand, they haven't really faced a lot of stiff competition throughout the season, and they've really been able to dominate in pretty much every way, every facet of the game. The last time these two teams met, August 24, 2019, West Middlesex won 32, and Eisenhower had 0.
Yeah, it's a totally different Eisenhower team than the one West Middlesex faced a season ago. The Knights have come and just dominated opponents all season long, averaging almost 50 points a game, giving up into single digits defensively. So we can kind of throw that last score out the window a little bit as these two teams meet up here in the playoffs tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of the ways that Eisenhower's been dominating has certainly been their running game. Caleb Black, for instance, has 79 carries, 809 yards, and 15 touchdowns. He's averaging 10 yards per carry. Owen Trumbull, also the quarterback, he has 12 yards per carry on top of his 64 for 96 passing attempts or completions to passing attempts, and he has 1,174 yards, 18 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. And one interesting stat for you, Brian: Cale Black, Benji Bauer, Owen Trumbull, and Zane Alexander, their top 4 rushers, they have 1,579 rushing yards between the 4 of them.
It's been absolutely impressive offensive performance all season long for Eisenhower. Taking a look at the other side of the ball from West Middlesex, this has been really a balanced offense for them, led by quarterback Ty Tate, who does a little bit of everything. Can throw the ball very well, runs the ball very well. So he's got to be the guy that Eisenhower keys on tonight defensively.
Yeah, Tate is 51 of 90 in passing with 56% completion percentage, 615 yards, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And he's second in rushing on the team with 252 yards. He's averaging 3.6 yards per carry, has 7 rushing touchdowns. Their rushing leader is Ian Smith. He has 81 carries for 374 yards and 3 touchdowns.
The Reds have definitely shown that they can run the ball, but Eisenhower defensively has shown all season long that they are more than capable of stopping the run. They've been racking up tackles for loss all year long, led defensively by Jared Beers, just wreaking havoc in the back.
Yeah, defensively, Beers has 13.5 tackles for loss. Hag follows behind him with 10.5. And then when you come to sacks, we've talked before the season started about how this team wanted to get more sacks. They have 10.5 sacks on the season with Cale Black leading the defense with 4.5. But one thing that kind of goes unnoticed is an unreported stat for us, and that's how much pressure that the Knights have been able to put on the quarterback. Play after play after play. They may not be getting to the quarterback enough to put him on the ground, but they're certainly putting him under pressure, making him have bad throws, and that's led to 3 interceptions and 15 fumble recoveries.
And that's one thing defensively West Middlesex has not been able to do is generate turnovers. They have 4 interceptions and just a single fumble recovery on the year. And in playoffs, Cody, you know as well as I do, turnovers and special teams can often be the difference.
Oh yeah, and it's the big difference between these two teams because there's a lot of areas where they're equally matched. West Middlesex defense can certainly put up a good fight against the Eisenhower offense that has dominated throughout the year. But like you said, they haven't been able to generate the turnovers. They do have 13 total team sacks though, which is going to be a point of emphasis for Owen Trumbull. But as we noted on the rushing stats, Trumbull can scramble, so he might have to scramble a little more tonight than he has all season. But it's certainly something to keep an eye on.
He's certainly capable of it, but this, again, he's facing a defense that has picked the ball off 4 times. He's only thrown 2 interceptions. Both of those were in the opening contest here against Union City. And he's been, perfect, not passing obviously, but hasn't thrown an interception since then. That's an awful long time, especially in high school football, for a quarterback to go without throwing an interception. We'll see what West Middlesex can do to maybe try to bait him into a bad throw and pick off on those balls.
Well, Penley's done a very good job at keeping these guys limiting mistakes throughout the year. There's been little pockets of errors, is the best way to describe it. A quarter here and there, a series here and there, where they may have a handful of penalties or a turnover, but overall they're playing pretty consistent, mistake-free football. But tonight, it's a different competition, and certainly no room for errors now that they're in playoff football.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There are definitely no room for errors here this evening. And this has been the drive to the game brought to you by Warren Tire Center. Warren Tire Center, make sure you get to the game in comfort. Want to say thank you to the computer guru of Leaper. When you need computer repairs or service, call the computer guru of Leaper, 814-744-7580 for tonight's game stream. This is the Rehab Center pregame show on D9 and 10 Sports. We're getting ready to take a quick break, and Cody, I just looked out the window, and believe it or not, in late October in District 10, we've got some snow falling. We'll talk a little bit more about that and how the weather can have an impact when we get back from this quick break. This is high school football on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
Hey folks, I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight to a historic night at George Wiley Field. This is the first time we've ever hosted a playoff game here tonight. You see the West Middlesex Big Red. We want to welcome them here tonight to our field and congratulate them on a tremendous season on their part as they make their way onto the field tonight. Shortly after that, we expect our Knights to be coming onto the field, and then everyone will, after that, get ready for the national anthem by our wonderful Knights marching band.
I'm not any older than you are. Oh, she's right there. See, I have my glasses on. Like, he's fogging up. After I noticed her, I was like, oh, that's Joe's sister.
Alright, so West Middlesex is taking the field. We're just momentarily waiting for the Knights. I've said this before, but again, we want to thank the Warren County School District for letting our student athletes play this season. We don't want to take that for granted. We also thank the District 10 committee for doing the same thing, for supporting athletics. And most importantly also, the PIAA for taking such a strong stand to support athletics so that we could have them this fall. Thank you very much, folks. We would not have made it this far had you not been unwavering in support for our kids.
And we are back here at Eisenhower High School getting set for this District 10 Class 1A football semifinal playoff game as the Knights host the West Middlesex Big Reds. We're about 7 minutes to kick off here. And Cody, you said just before the break, it looked like maybe some of that nasty little white stuff starting to fall from the sky here up in northern Warren County. What kind of impact do you think that the weather could have? It rained all day yesterday. This is a grass field. It's got to be soggy. What kind of impact is that going to have on the game tonight?
Well, it certainly can impact turnover game. You're looking at fumbles. Both these teams really like to run the ball, and that ball gets muddy, it gets slick, the hands get cold, which is something that a lot of people don't often talk about. But in high school football, you don't have the big teams on the sidelines like you do in college or NFL. So their hands get cold, they get numb, and the ball is slippery. So I think you're looking at a lot of turnover possibilities. Also, you may see some limiting passes.
All right, folks, I see our guys coming across the parking lot here.
So we'll see as the game moves on how the field kind of conditions.
All right,
deteriorate,
folks,
whether the snow picks
everyone
up or
on your
not.
feet. Here we go. Let's greet our
Home team
Knights.
Eisenhower Knights is getting set to take the field here.
7-0, top seed in District 10.
Keys to the game tonight. First for West Middlesex. Really good West Middlesex.
Your Eisenhower Knights.
I just think they need to come tougher. You're not going to stop fumbles and scrambling, but you need to limit them. And I think they need to key in on that, is limit them. I don't want to say they need to play safe defense, but they need to play containment defense and try to avoid the big plays. And really make this Eisenhower team work for, honestly, something that they haven't had to do too much throughout the season. I think the defense needs to play as stout as they have all year, and going off of what I said about West Middlesex.
All right, if everyone would please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem, followed by our alma mater.
Those are Cody's keys to the game, brought to you by the Bucket Cafe and Sugar Bowl.
Knights band under the outstanding direction of Mr. Mark Nepal.
Eisenhower Knights marching band with tonight's national anthem. Cody, you touched on it a little bit. This Eisenhower team has not faced a whole lot of adversity this season. They played Covington last week, and it gave up an 88-yard touchdown pass to go down 8-0 early on the game. That's the first time all year they've trailed in a game. They then ended up coming back to win 31-8. But again, that's the kind of adversity that this team has not seen this season.
Absolutely, you're right. And one note about that, giving up the 88-yard touchdown pass, we have seen weak spots in the secondary of this defense. And if the quarterback that they're facing is accurate and has a strong enough arm, I think that they can take advantage of it. Like I said before, I really think the field conditions today, we may see a lot more running and passing, and that may benefit Eisenhower overall.
Okay, we're about 2 minutes to kick off here. This has been the Rehab Center pregame show on D910sports.com. We have a lengthy list of donors. We again want to say thank you to all of them for helping us bring you the broadcast here tonight. And we did want to add a couple to the list. PG and Ocean and Carlson. Thank you again for that. For our donors this evening. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after this.
All boosters would like to thank the following for helping bring you tonight's game. Briggs Transport, IWF, Sue and Jean Wilston, Kathy Briggs, Linbro Holsteins and Dairy, Porter Trucking, Carlson Auto Repair, Barney and Barb Alexander, Marion Littlefield, Justin and Amanda Darr, Doris and Skip Trumbull, Timberline Farms, Lottsville Milling, Warren General Hospital, Neil's Propane, Matt. We are back here at Eisenhower High School. Knights getting set to receive the opening kickoff in this District 10 Class 1A football semifinal playoff game. West Middlesex to kick. And we are underway here from Eisenhower High School. And the kick is fielded at the 20. That's Caleb Robinault looking to get to the edge. Not quite going to get there, but he does get out across the 30.
The 30-yard line, the ball is spotted, and Knights will have it.
And that's where the Knights will take over for their first possession here in these District 10 playoffs. And we do understand we had some audio difficulty during our pregame show. We do want to apologize for that. Apologize to our sponsors, the Rehab Center, Warren Tire Center, Swift Kennedy, and the Bucket Cafe. We do apologize for those audio difficulties, but it does appear we've had those straightened out now, so we're getting to the game action. 1st and 10 for Eisenhower from its own 30-yard line. Owen Trumbull, the quarterback, back in the gun. Running back Cale Black to his left. 2 receivers left, 1 to his right. And Trumbull takes the snap, and he's going to take off with it right away. Has some room off the left side. Trumbull's out across the 35. Looks like he's down at the 37 or 38-yard line. There is a West Middlesex player down. Looks like that is number 69, Luke Rupert. They're going to tend to him on the field. Definitely not something you want to see, especially in the first play of the game, Cody.
No, you don't. To touch on Trumbull's carry, though, we spoke about this a little bit in the pregame. Not sure what the audience heard, but right there off the bat, utilizing his legs in the running game to go up the middle for 7 yards.
Okay, so while they tend to Rupert here, we're going to take a quick break. This is high school football on D910sports.com.
Hi, this is Chris Rossetti from D910sports.com. If you're like me, you may have experienced some aches and pains like a sore back, a stiff neck, or a wonky knee. Well, I've got the place for you. The Rehab Center with 6 convenient locations, including in Brookville, Clarion, and Katanning, is the place to go. The friendly staff and knowledgeable doctors will get you back in the game quicker than quick. I know, I've been going to them since 2009. So the next time your back, neck, knee, shoulder, or anything else acts up, call them for an appointment at 724-478-1501.
Okay, we are back here at Eisenhower High School. Rupert was able to walk off under his own power. We're glad to see that. 2nd and 2 for Eisenhower. And the give is to Black off the left side. Falls forward. It looks like he will have enough for the Eisenhower first down out to the 42-yard line. So a 4-yard pickup on 2nd down for Cale Black.
42-yard line for the Knights.
And again, Cody, we've seen this all year. Knights running that quick offense to get things going. 1st and 10 now from the 42. Trumbull under center. And he's going to give to the out man. Looks like Colby Hagg. Going to plow forward for a few.
Quick hitter looks like Stephen Riley.
Or excuse me, that was Stephen Riley on the carry. Picked up about 2 yards. We'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for Eisenhower.
Knights advance the
just
ball
underway
about 2
here in the
yards.
first
It'll bring
quarter.
up 2nd and 8.
Trumbull back in the gun. Cale Black to his right. 3 receivers bunched to the right. Trumbull rolling right, looking downfield, stops, fires, looking for Zane Alexander. Pass is broken up, but there is a flag on the field.
Very dangerous throw by Trumbull there, Brian.
Yeah, it looked like number 15, Alex Ray, on the coverage. almost jumped in front of that ball and picked it off, but we'll see what the penalty is here. It looks like an ineligible man downfield for Eisenhower, so that's going to back them up a little bit.
The call is an ineligible receiver downfield, or man downfield on the Knights.
So they'll move back, and it will still be second down for the Knights.
That's a 5-yard penalty on the Knights.
And they're back to the 39-yard line here with 10:34 to go first quarter.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 now.
Trumbull in the gun. And he's going to take off with it again up the left side. He's got some space. Ran into his own man, the lead blocker there. But Trumbull's out across the 45. Looks like he's to the 46 or 47.
About the 47-yard line.
So he gets the penalty yardage back and then some.
And that looks like 3rd and 5.
Third and looks like about 5 for Eisenhower. Definitely much more manageable than the second down yardage. Trumbull in the gun. 2 receivers to his left. Trumbull back to pass. It looked like they were trying to set up the screen. Now Trumbull's going to keep it, and he gets out. It'll depend on the spot, but it looks like he might have enough for the Eisenhower first down. We'll see what the spot says.
It's pretty close.
Clock's running. The clock's running.
They are looking at this ball to see, and now they signal for the timeout to get a measurement here.
Let about 15 seconds run off the clock there before they decided to measure it.
And the chains are down. They're looking close.
They stretch the chains out.
And it is a first down. Trumbull just gets enough to keep this drive alive for Eisenhower, though I would think at midfield with 4th and inches, Eisenhower head coach Jim Penley would probably go for it in that situation.
Oh, yeah, I think so. They haven't – the only offensive error that they really had outside of the penalty was the pass on that same play. But running the ball, they're doing what we've seen all year.
And Trumbull turns, gives to Black up the middle, and there is nothing doing there for Black, but he's just going to keep those feet moving. Does end up getting something positive out of that, but he was met immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Ball spotted at about the West.
So he is in West Middlesex territory. Looks like at the Big Red's 47.
It'll be 2nd and 8.
Give Black a pickup of 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 for Eisenhower. And Trumbull gives to the up man. That's Benji Bauer up the middle. And we've got, looks like Bauer's down just shy of the first down marker.
Looks like just short of the first down on the
at the 40. At the 40 exactly. And Cody, Benji Bauer is one of those kids that, with the way Eisenhower's been winning ball games, has gotten a lot of carries this season.
He's gotten a lot of carries, and the neat thing about Benji Bauer is he's such a contrast to what you get out of Cale Black that when you run those two back-to-back carries, the defense has to play each one of them a little bit differently.
Third and short.
So 3rd and 1 for Eisenhower. Trumbull's going to turn, give it to Cale Black, who's looking for space, picking his way through, falls forward.
It is going to be close again.
And we'll see where they spot him here. It's going to be close.
See where the spot is.
They put the ball just across the 40-yard line.
To be 4th down.
So it is a 4th down. And again, Cody, at this point in the field and the way Eisenhower's run the ball all season long, you got to think they're going to keep the offense out on the field here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Trumbull just take care of this himself on this play.
First 4th down of the ball game here with 7:37 to go first quarter. Trumbull under center. And he does plow forward, and he's got more than enough. That'll be an Eisenhower first down. And you called it, Cody. Trumbull on the keeper picks up the first down. It's another first down for Eisenhower. They're now at the West Middlesex 38-yard line.
West Middlesex 38, 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Trumbull will be under center again. Riley's the fullback. Black the tailback. And the give is to Black up the left side, trying to pick his way through. Gets out to the 35. So he's had some holes, but again, Cody, this is just the difference in this West Middlesex defense. Those holes are closing a lot faster than what Black's been used to seeing this year.
Yeah, West Middlesex is attacking the ball very quickly. They're getting to Black. They're hitting him at the line of scrimmage. He's having to fight for every yard. And, you know, to be honest, he just hasn't really faced that all year.
So 2nd and 7 now for Eisenhower, and Trumbull gives to Riley Bauer up the middle. He picks up a couple. Looks like he got down to the 32, so pickup of 3. We'll make it 3rd and 4 for the Knights. And they're getting a fresh ball in here for Eisenhower.
I think the ball is spotted at about the 31-yard line.
3rd and 4 for Eisenhower from the West Middlesex 32. And Trumbull fakes to Black, looking to throw, fires, he's got Robinault. Robinault across the 20, trying to get the edge, and he is rolled out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Trumbull to Caleb Robinault. Picks up about 21 on the play, and Eisenhower is in the red zone for the first time this evening.
Open out wide open.
So it'll be 1st and goal for the Knights from the West Middlesex 9-yard line with 5:51 to go here in the first quarter. Tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Icy Ink in Warren.
Knights have a 1st and goal from their 9-yard.
Trumbull under center now. And he gives to Black up the left side. Black looking for space. He squeezes through. He's still on his feet. Caleb Black. Touchdown. Eisenhower. Black goes for 9 yards, and the Eisenhower score with 5:45 to go here in the first quarter. Knights have taken the lead over West Middlesex with the extra point pending.
Brian, that's a perfect example of the dual threat that this offense has. And, you know, sometimes the passing game gets a little bit overshadowed by how dominant the run game is, but Trumbull's pass to Robinault set that play up.
Jake Venman's kick is up, and it is good. So with 5:45 to go here in the first quarter, Eisenhower has taken a 7-0 lead over West Middlesex in this District 10 Class 1A football playoff semifinal. You're watching high school football on D910sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
Icy Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery, located at 2043 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. We offer screen printing and embroidery on apparel, as well as graphic design, web design, photography, and custom frames, and specialize in youth fundraisers. We also offer photography services and custom frames. Check out our Icebox stores online at icyink.com or give us a call at 814-688-0034. Let's meet, drink coffee, and design some cool shirts. Be cool, wear Icy.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D910sports.com radio network.
And welcome back here to Eisenhower High School, where the Knights have just taken a 7-0 lead over West Middlesex on the strength of a Cale Black 9-yard touchdown run. Jake Venman getting ready to kick off here for Eisenhower.
Kathy Briggs, thank you, folks.
And it is Alex Ray back deep for the Big Reds. And Venman squibs with a whistle and a flag.
We have a flag.
Looks like the Knights were offside, so we'll do this one again.
Do it again.
And Cody, this has been one of the maybe not so talked about aspects of this Eisenhower team. These squib kicks have gotten them a lot of recoveries, a lot of fortunate bounces their way this season.
Yeah, we mentioned how many fumble recoveries they've had, and a number of them have been on kickoffs. And we've actually seen more negative things happen when they kick the ball deep, allowing returns that typically weren't going to happen if they were squib kicking it. So Penley earlier in the season tried the deeper kicks, but has stuck with the squib.
So Venman does it again. The ball bounces, and it will be fielded at the 25. And that is for West Middlesex, number 23, Eddie Lowe, gets to the edge, then is pushed out of bounds, and there you can see some of those sloppy field conditions as he went sliding into the Eisenhower bench. But a nice return there for Lowe, and the Big Reds will take over at their own 40-yard line.
You know, that's something that I wasn't really thinking about as they get off that sideline where all the players, all that foot traffic is. It's really chopped up there, really muddy. You got to be careful in those situations, and typically if a player's running there, they're not in full control. So that's one aspect that can be very dangerous on a field like this today.
So 5:37 to go here in the first quarter, and we'll see the West Middlesex offense for the first time. Quarterback Ty Tate, number 17, is in the gun. He has 3 receivers to his right, and he's going to take off with it right up the middle. Tate still on his feet. Going to fall forward. Looks like he's out to the 44-yard line. So a 4-yard pickup there for Tate on a first down carry.
4 yards to bring up 2nd and 6.
And again, that's the kind of dual threat player that Ty Tate is for West Middlesex.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of hard running by both quarterbacks tonight. Should be a pretty good battle.
2nd and 6 for West Middlesex from their own 44-yard line. They trail 7-0 with 5 minutes to go here first quarter. Tate now under center, and we got some movement before the snap. And that was number 69, Luke Rupert. So glad to see him back on the field. He was the player who had been injured earlier, but certainly looks like he's okay. He's back out there now.
2nd and 11.
But that 5-yard penalty is going to back him up. We'll make it a 2nd and 11 for West Middlesex from their own 39.
You have to wonder with that penalty. You know, West Middlesex didn't play last week. They might be a little bit rusty coming out of the gate on offense.
Tate's going to pitch it now. And that's number 7. Colby Johnson has some space. Gets all the way down across midfield, almost to the Eisenhower 40. Wise pitch there from Tate to Colby Johnson, number 7.
Well, I guess they proved me wrong, Brian. I said they might be rusty, and then they pop off a 20-yard run.
It's a big second down carry with 2nd and 11. They get down across midfield. They're now at the Eisenhower 41 for West Middlesex as we approach 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Tate going to be under center this time. And the give is to the up man. That's number 3, Ian Smith. And he gets out across the 40.
Getting Smith on the handle on the carry there. He's got about
gets down to the 37-yard line. A 4-yard carry for Smith there on first down will bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Big Reds. Second and 6 for West Middlesex here on the Eisenhower 37. 3:20 to go first quarter. Eisenhower leads 7-0. Tate pitches to Johnson. Johnson runs into Cale Black. And that is going to be, surprise, surprise, Cody, a tackle for loss by the Eisenhower defense.
Yeah, words we've said all year long. They got burned on that pitch a couple plays ago on this side of the field. West Middlesex flipped a play, and Eisenhower sniffed it out and got him in the backfield.
So it'll bring up a 3rd and long for West Middlesex. And when you find yourself on 3rd and long, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning to get you moving again. 3rd and 9 from the Eisenhower 40 for West Middlesex. They trail 7-0 here in this District 10 Class 1A semifinal. Tate back to pass. Has time. Now he's under pressure. Rolls right. Looking way down the field. Has a man, and it is overthrown. Incomplete. That pass was intended for number 5, Chris Smith. But that will make it 4th down for West Middlesex. Oh, there is a penalty roughing the passer against Eisenhower. Negates the incomplete pass. Gives the Big Reds a free first down.
So that's going to be an automatic first down for West Middlesex.
And a big break there for West Middlesex and costly penalty for Eisenhower. They had him in 4th down, but now it's a 1st and 10 from the Eisenhower 25 as West Middlesex looks to even it up here with 2:25 to go here in the first quarter. Tate's under center. And the give is to Smith, and he's hit and wrapped immediately by a host of Knights. Looks like a loss of 1 on the play. Gannon Jaquay, the first one to get him, will make it 2nd and 11 for West Middlesex.
2nd down.
Total opposite of what Eisenhower's doing offensively. The Big Reds coming out, huddling up every play, kind of slowing things down.
Well, that's one way to attack a defense is to keep them from building up that momentum and that energy.
Tate fakes the pitch, and he's going to keep it. He's got some space around the left side. Ty Tate down the sideline. There is a flag on the play.
Pretty good yardage out there, but there is a
big run for Ty Tate. Got down to the 9, but this one probably going to be coming back. It looked like there was some holding going on down the sideline.
It is right at the point of attack, so it could be a hold.
And officials trying to determine what Eisenhower wants to do with the penalty here. So this one is going to be against West Middlesex, and it is a hold. So that's going to wipe out what would have been about a 15-yard pickup for Ty Tate.
Penalties playing a big factor early on. You know, they had the roughing the passer earlier on Eisenhower. You have a hold penalty on a big play that could have got West Middlesex down inside of what looked like the 10-yard line. So both teams struggling a little bit out of the gate with penalties.
So it is a spot foul on the hold. Will bring up 2nd and 4 for West Middlesex. And Tate comes out in the gun, has Smith and Johnson with him in the backfield, 2 receivers to his right. And the give is to Johnson. Johnson has a little bit of space on the right side, gets across the 20. Looks like down to the 18.
Along with Cale Black.
Make it a 3rd and short. Call it a long 3 for West Middlesex.
About 3rd and 3.
As we approach a minute to go here in the Icy Ink first quarter from Eisenhower High School, where the Knights lead the Big Reds 7-0 in this District 10 Class 1A football playoff semifinal contest. 3rd and 3 for West Middlesex. Tate under center and fumbles the snap, and Eisenhower pounces on him. Tate was able to pick it up, but a costly fumble on the exchange there, Cody. Tate fortunate to pick that one up.
Yeah, I wonder if, we've seen Tate, he did that fake pitch and the run around the left end where there was that hold penalty. He's had a couple of carries throughout the game that have been successful, and I almost think that maybe he got a little ahead of himself on that play and he was going to take care of it himself. It put West Middlesex in a bad situation right now because they have 4th and short.
So they're going to face a 4th and 3 from the Eisenhower 18 when the second quarter gets underway. This is high school football on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
Chris Rossetti here to tell you a little bit about All-American Awards and Engraving in Chippenville. When I first met Jim Carroll in 2006, All-American Awards and Engraving was just getting started. Since then, the company has grown into the area's premier shop for embroidery, screen printing, and engraving, graphic design work, and personalized gift ideas. As Jim has always said, they'll put almost anything on almost everything, and they really do mean that. Give them a call today at 814-782-6264. Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleghenyGrill.com.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
welcome back in here to Eisenhower High School, getting ready to start the second quarter. Second quarter tonight is brought to you by Swift Kennedy and Company, the official insurance provider of D910sports.com. Eisenhower leads West Middlesex 7-0 in this District 10 Class 1A football semifinal playoff contest. 4th and 3 for the Big Reds. Tate on the keeper, under pressure, and he is brought down and sacked by Owen Trumbull. Quarterback to quarterback, and Trumbull gets the win on that play, Cody.
Well, you know, earlier I said that I thought Trumbull and Tate would be a good matchup. That's not really how I foreseen it happening, but it worked out for Eisenhower. A huge play up for the defense. Makes up for that big penalty earlier where they had him stopped. So now the offense will take over. They got about quite a bit of field to go, about 75 yards to go, but with this run game and the way that Trumbull's been maneuvering back there, I think the Knights are feeling pretty confident coming into this drive.
So a big 4th down stop for Eisenhower from quarterback safety Owen Trumbull. He now takes over at the 25, pitches to Cale Black, looking for space on the right side. Not a whole lot going. He is stopped by pair of Big Reds. Looked like Chris Smith was the first one to get him. Not a lot of running room so far for Cale Black outside of the 9-yard touchdown. Just a couple of yards here and there, Cody.
Yeah, and that goes, the offensive line, there's been some holes there, but that goes to West Middlesex defense, just attacking the ball. They're everywhere Black wants to be right now.
Trumbull comes out in the gun on this play. And he gives to Black, looking for space up the middle, and there's just nothing there. The West Middlesex defensive front led that time by number 53, Caleb Turkett. Big stop for a loss on the play. Will back up the Knights. Looks like to the 22-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd and long for Eisenhower. And when you get backed up, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning to get you moving again. 3rd and 13 for Eisenhower. And again, Cody, not a situation the Knights have found themselves in very often this season.
No, we haven't seen them take too many carries for a loss all year. So we'll see how Penley's offense reacts to that.
Trumbull in the gun, Black to his right, 3 receivers right, Trumbull back to pass, under pressure immediately, scrambles away, rolling left, fires, has a man, it is caught by Dylan Benson across the 30. Not going to be enough for the first down, but what a catch in traffic by Dylan Benson. Gets some of that yardage back, but it's going to be about a 4th and 4 for the Knights here. And they bring out Caleb Robinall to punt.
Yeah, completing that pass put the Knights in a little bit better position to punt and try to control the field, the distance here for the defense.
Eddie Lowe back deep for West Middlesex. We got a whistle and flags here. And looks like a false start on Eisenhower, so that's going to back him up 5. And again, some uncharacteristic sloppy play from Eisenhower early in this ball game. You got to think, Cody, pressure of the moment. These guys favored in the playoffs for the first time in their career, and playing home in front of the home fans this evening.
West Middlesex.
So we'll do it again with Robinall to kick. Gets the snap. The kick is away, and Robinall shanked it. The kick goes about 6 yards and dies there. West Middlesex going to take over at the Eisenhower 26-yard line.
They lost, I think they lost yardage on that punt.
Robinall kicked that ball, and it just went nowhere. And you wonder, Cody, we talked about it at the top, the cold weather tonight, how that's going to affect things. Maybe you saw it right there on the punt from Robinall.
Cold weather, and, let's be honest, the punting for Eisenhower, they haven't had to punt a lot all year long. So that's not a facet of their game that's really probably fine-tuned by now.
So West Middlesex takes over on the Eisenhower 25, trailing 7-0, 9:31 to go, second quarter. And Tate drops back to pass, looking for the man on the far sideline, a little bit out of his reach. We'll make it 2nd and 10 for West Middlesex. And you'll see Cody, the times Tate has dropped back to pass, it's one read and run, or he's getting rid of that ball very quickly, not giving this Eisenhower defense time to get back to him.
Yeah, the couple times he's dropped back, one pass that was incomplete was negated by the roughing the passer, but Eisenhower's been getting pressure, so he doesn't want to waste too much time back there.
2nd and 10 for West Middlesex, and Tate's going to keep it this time. He evades one tackle in the backfield. Tate's down the sideline, and then he's hit and knocked out of bounds. Looks like he's down inside the 10, maybe to the 7 or 8 yard line. So it'll bring up a 1st and goal for West Middlesex on the strong run from Ty Tate. And Tate made a man miss in the backfield there and then took off down the sideline. It looked like Mike Jones had a beat on him, but Tate made a quick little move, gets West Middlesex 1st and goal from the 7. Tate back to pass, and now he's going to take off with it, and he's hit and dropped. Cale Black with the sack for Eisenhower will back the West Middlesex up a few yards. Looks like about a 4-yard loss there on the sack from Cale Black.
Nice sack when the Knights needed it.
8:30 to go, second quarter at Eisenhower High School. The Knights lead West Middlesex 7-0 in this District 10 Class 1A semifinal playoff contest. Second and goal from the 11. Tate back to pass again. He's under pressure. They set up the screen, and it was caught. Looks like that was Smith on the catch, and he's going to be just short of the goal line. We'll make it 3rd and goal for West Middlesex.
Where they're going to spot it. It's like about the 5-yard line, just over the 5-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and goal.
So they mark Smith down at the 4. 3rd and goal for West Middlesex. And Cody, you got to think this is 4-down territory here if you're the Big Reds.
Oh, certainly 4-down territory. It's interesting that they ran that screen there. That's with Eisenhower's pass rush. That's the best offense that you can run against a heavy pass rush there. Is just lure them in and take advantage of it.
Tate takes it, looking for the corner. He dives for the end zone, and he is in. Ty Tate for the West Middlesex touchdown. 7:23 second quarter. And the Big Reds are an extra point away from tying this ball game.
Well, let's see if they kick the point or they go for 2.
Ty Tate on the 4-yard run makes it 7-6. Big Reds look like they're going to kick, and that is Chris Smith in to try the point after and tie this game here in the middle of the second quarter. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. So we have a tie ball game with 7:23 to go here in the second quarter. Eisenhower, West Middlesex, 7-7. This is District 10 football playoff action on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
Looking to outfit your team with a quick turnaround time? Then give BGM Custom Wears by Brookfield Glove a try. At BGM Custom Wear by Brookfield Glove, we believe businesses, individuals, and teams should be able to represent themselves at a reasonable price. We have access to thousands of different products like hats, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, bags, and more from your favorite brand. We also do screen printing, embroidery, and engraving. BGM Custom Wear by Brookfield Glove can be reached at 814-849-7324 or check us out online at brookfieldglove.com and like us on Facebook.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
Welcome back here to Eisenhower High School, where West Middlesex has just tied the Knights 7-7 on a Ty Tate 5-yard touchdown run. 7:23 to go in the Swift Kennedy and Company second quarter. West Middlesex to kick. The ball is fielded at the 26 by Robinault, and he goes right up the gut, gets out across the 40,
Nice return up to the 42.
Looks like the 42, maybe the 43-yard line, so the Knights will start in good field position.
Now, the Knights have had a little bit of trouble running the ball. Cale Black has 7 carries for 16 yards. However, they've had a little bit of success on the passing game, only 2 attempts, and Trumbull's completed both of those passes for 29 yards. I may look for Eisenhower to come out now and start trying to pick apart the secondary if they're not able to get the running game going up front.
Trumbull will come out under center.
So here we go with the Knights.
1 receiver to each side, and the pitch is, or the give is to the up man, excuse me. Looks like that was Zane Alexander in at fullback, gets out just across the 45. And again, another West Middlesex player, a little slow to get up, but looks like he will be okay. So it'll be a 2-yard pickup for Alexander, 2nd and 8 for Eisenhower. And Trumbull stays under center. This time it's Bauer at fullback, Black the tailback, Benson in motion. Fake, Trumbull fires, has Benson, and Benson can't quite get to midfield stripe, stopped at the 49, so a short gain on that pass play. We'll make it a 3rd and about 6.
49-yard line.
Trumbull in the gun, Black to his left, 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. And Trumbull's just going to keep it and only gets out to midfield. There was a small hole there, Cody, but again, West Middlesex closed it quickly.
4th down, about 4 yards to go.
Yeah, the middle of that field, or the middle of the line of scrimmage is just the holes are closing very fast, and I'm not sure right now if Eisenhower is going to have a lot of success there until they're able to spread out the West Middlesex defense.
So Eisenhower's going to take a timeout and talk about it. We're going to take a quick one with them. This is high school football action on D9and10sports.com.
With locations in Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren, Ed Gurek Allstate Insurance is committed to offering customers a wide variety of coverage and services. You can depend on them to help you look at the big picture. They understand the importance of being a part of the community and building local relationships, and look forward to getting to know you and help you find the solutions that meet your needs. Contact them today in Ridgeway at 814-772-7272 or 814-781-1020 in St. Mary's and 814-723-5540 in Warren.
Need some pizza and wings to go with the game? Then head to the Bucket Cafe at 14 Main Street in Sugar Grove. Great food, great staff, and great prices. The Bucket now offers online ordering. Check them out on Facebook or call 814-489-5000. We are back here at Eisenhower High School. The Knights will keep the offense on the field, facing a 4th and 3 from midfield. Big play, 5:42 to go, 2nd quarter. The give is to Cale Black. Black has space up the left side, still on his feet. And Black has the Eisenhower first down across the 45 down to the 42-yard line of the Big Reds. And that time, Cody, the Knights offensive line opened that hole and Black powered right through it.
Yeah, the one time that they only needed 3 yards, Black busts open an 8-yarder.
So first down now for Eisenhower. 5:20 to go here in the 2nd quarter. We have a tie ball game, 7-7 in this District 10 Class 1A football playoff semifinal contest. Owen Trumbull under center now. Has Bauer the fullback, Black to up man. Fakes to Black, Trumbull under pressure, and he's hit and dropped. Looks like that's number 66, Terry Grimwood, and number 53, Caleb Turcotte on the stop. Going to back the Knights up about 4 yards there, back to the 45-yard line. We'll make it a 2nd and 14 now for the Knights as they look to the sideline to get the play.
Remember, Brian, this West Middlesex defense is right on par with Eisenhower's. They had 13.5 sacks this season.
Trumbull under center, and he will drop back to pass. Rolling right, looking, fires, And is that ball intercepted? West Middlesex thinks it is, but it is not. The official calls it incomplete. West Middlesex thought they had the diving interception there from number 23, Eddie Lowe. He almost came up with that one, and that's what we talked about, Cody, trying to bait him into those throws.
Yeah, they've been having trouble under pressure, baited him into that throw, and it's a good thing that we don't have instant replay because that was pretty close, Brian.
It was on the opposite end of the field from where we are, but it certainly looked like Lowe had made a diving catch on that. Ruled incomplete, makes it 3rd down and 14 for Eisenhower from the West Middlesex 45. Trumbull in the gun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking, has time. Now he's going to scramble. Still trying to evade pressure, picks up a block, looking, fires downfield, and that ball was thrown out of bounds. Trumbull ends up on the seat of his pants. Some words there between the Knights players and the Big Reds, but it is incomplete, and we'll bring up a 4th and 14.
I find that interesting, Brian. Almost in the same exact position on the field when West Middlesex was going this direction, there was a roughing the passer penalty, and boy, Trumbull got hit hard after he released the ball, and it was a full-on hit. It wasn't a bump. He was taken right to the ground, so I think that's why there was a little bit of tension and maybe a little shoving.
So it looks like Trumbull's maybe going to take the punt here, and he gets the kick away. And it takes an Eisenhower bounce, and it's going to roll and die just outside the 10, maybe right at the 10-yard line. So much better punt this time around for Eisenhower. Pins West Middlesex deep. 4:01 to go, second quarter in a 7-7 game. This is a District 10 Class 1A semifinal playoff game.
So West Middlesex will
West Middlesex going to take over, look to take the lead for the first time.
1 second to go in the half.
Let's get the boys ball back, boys.
So we'll see what West Middlesex comes out with offensively, pinned deep in their own territory from their own 10-yard line.
Putting together a 90-yard drive against this Eisenhower defense is not going to be a simple task.
Tate's going to keep it, and he's hit immediately by Trumbull and then cleaned up by Colby Hagg. Gets a couple on the carry, going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for West Middlesex as we wind down to 3:45 to go here in the first half. Will be 2nd and 8 for the Big Reds. 3:30 to go, second quarter, 7-7 ball game. And Tate's going to come out in the gun this time, has 3 receivers to his left. Ian Smith in the backfield with him, takes the snap, drops back. He's firing down the sideline, looking for Chris Smith, and Smith has the catch near midfield. Good coverage there by Trevor Welker, but there is a flag down in the backfield. Nice catch from Chris Smith, but we'll see what the penalty is here. Waiting for the official signal. And it is a hold against West Middlesex. Going to wipe out what would have been a 38-yard gain on the play. And those are the kind of mistakes, Cody, in a playoff game you just can't make.
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about that before the game, about no room for error. And we've seen it a number of times, actually, here in the first half, where we've seen big plays negated by even bigger penalties.
Let's see where it goes.
So that's going to be, looks like a half the distance penalty, but we'll take them down inside the 5. They're down at the 3, where it will be 2nd and
it is indeed, looks like the 3-yard line.
looks like about 16 for West Middlesex.
All right, they wind the clock.
Officials wind the clock.
From the 3-yard line.
Tate under center, and the pitch is out to Johnson. Johnson looking for the edge. Johnson still on his feet. Down the sideline, is thrown out of bounds. But he does get the penalty yardage back and then some. Looks like Johnson got right out to the 15-yard line, so a big run there on second down. Makes it a third and manageable here for West Middlesex.
Yeah, it looked from our angle, it looked like Eisenhower might have been able to pull him down by the goal line there, but Johnson's just so quick, and it looks like he's deceptively quick. Got around that end, and once he got to the sideline, he was able to turn it upfield pretty fast.
And he was able to corral. There was a little bit of a high pitch there, too, from Tate, and Johnson brought it in and got the edge. And looks like West Middlesex is going to take a timeout. We're going to take a quick one with them with 2:52 to go here in the second quarter. Eisenhower and West Middlesex tied 7-7. This is high school football on D910sports.com.
Located at 229 Liberty Street in downtown Warren, Freedom Investment Management Group has a passion for helping people manage and preserve their wealth. Partners Rob Maring and Dave Close, along with all the professionals at Freedom Investment Management Group, are committed to providing the highest level of service to our clients. Every member of our team is experienced, educated, and passionate. We intentionally maintain a low client-to-team member ratio so that we can consistently deliver concierge-like service. Simply put, we are not like many other wealth management firms. Come experience the difference. Visit us online at freedomwealthcoach.com.
Have a fender bender? We can mend her at Park Avenue Motor Car. Bring your vehicle to Ron and the crew at Park Avenue Motor Car, 7 South Carver Street in Warren, or call 814-726-9728. Park Avenue Motor Car, proudly serving Warren County for 30 years.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D910sports.com radio network.
Welcome back in here to Eisenhower High School, where the Knights are tied with West Middlesex 7-7, 2:52 to go, second quarter in this District 10 Class 1A football semifinal. Tate keeps it under pressure. There's a flag down in the backfield. Tate's running free down the field, picks up a blocker. He's going to finally be taken down by Trevor Welker across the 36. But that flag came down in the backfield, and it is a hold against West Middlesex. That's the second big play of this drive, wiped out by a holding penalty.
It's the second big play wiped out by a holding penalty, and it's in probably the worst imaginable place it can be. You're backed up deep in your own territory with really no room to operate behind you. And so to have these big plays with time running out in the first half called back, they're going to run out of time here pretty soon. If they're going to try to dink and dunk or put together a running drive.
And so the penalty is going to back them up. Now they're back down inside the 5-yard line. So it will be third down again for West Middlesex. We do want to say a big thank you again to all our donors for helping make this broadcast possible this evening. And also wanted to say thank you to our sponsor, Allegheny Lucid Photography by Scott Elmquist. Tate back in the gun, looking back to pass. Under pressure from Black. Fires down the sideline, has a man, but he's underthrown, and it is incomplete. No flags on the play this time, so it will be 4th and 17 from the 4-yard line for West Middlesex.
Pretty impressive that Tate was able to get that ball off. He had an Eisenhower defender hanging off him when he did, but it came up short, and you wonder if that's why there was a little less oomph behind the ball.
So big opportunity for Eisenhower here with 2:35 to go in the first half and a tie game 7-7. 4th and 17 for West Middlesex from their own 4-yard line. Zane Alexander back deep to receive the punt, has his heels on the 40.
We've seen him return some punts earlier this year.
The kick is away. It bounces. Alexander's going to pick it up and then fall on. He couldn't quite get the handle. But Eisenhower will take over in West Middlesex territory with 2:33 to go in the first half. Knights have an opportunity to take the lead going into halftime.
They have great field position. That ball on that punt there rolled right through one of the muddiest parts in the field, and that goes back to what we've been saying. These field conditions certainly are going to affect plays in this game.
Very little wind here tonight.
1st and 10 for Eisenhower from the West Middlesex 30. 2:33 to go, second quarter. West Middlesex, Eisenhower tied 7-7. District 10 Class 1A football semifinal playoffs. You're here on D9and10sports.com. Second quarter tonight brought to you by Swift Kennedy & Company. Swift Kennedy & Company, the official insurance provider of D9and10sports.com. Trumbull gives to Black. And Black tries to go to the left side. He's spinning away, keeps the feet moving, gets out to the 42, so it'll be a 2-yard pickup on that play. Turkett on the stop. 2nd and 8 for Eisenhower.
Clock continues to roll.
Brian,
approach 2 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Trumbull to Benson connections at some point in this during this drive. Those two, they seem to have quite the connection on the field, and quarterbacks like to go to their go-to receiver in situations like this.
Looks like some confusion as to what the formation should be. 1:50 to go. Trumbull under center. Bauer the fullback. Black the up man. Fake. Gives to Benson, and he is hit immediately. That was number 53, Caleb Turkett again. And he drops Benson back to the 43-yard line. So a 5-yard loss on the play will make it 3rd and long.
With as much pressure as West Middlesex is getting on this offensive line for Eisenhower, and as much as they've been attacking the ball, any sort of reverse play like that takes place so close to the line of scrimmage is a high-risk play to have.
Trumbull fakes to Black, looking, scrambling, under pressure, tries to hit Black but can't get to him. Trumbull was under pressure there, and that tackle for loss by Caleb Turcott pays dividends for West Middlesex. Fourth and 13 for Eisenhower. 1:05 to go, second quarter. 7-7 ball game. Trumbull back to punt. High snap, he corrals it. Kick is away.
The kick is out there.
Ball bounces and is fielded. Made a couple Eisenhower men miss. That was Eddie Lowe on the field. And he does get the ball out across the 10-yard line. Dangerous place to pick up the ball, but he does get it out across the 10.
It was very dangerous, and the way it was looking, Brian, it looked like it was going to roll into the end zone, and West Middlesex would have had the ball at the 20. So with just under a minute to go, they could have taken some shots downfield and tried to put another score on the board, but when you're under a minute to go, every yard counts. So those 10 yards that they could have had might be vital.
52.6 seconds to go here in the second quarter. West Middlesex and Eisenhower are tied 7-7. Big Reds will get the ball to start the second half.
So West Middlesex spreads the formation.
Tate comes out in the gun, has two receivers to his right and left, and he's going to keep it up the middle, and then hit and smacked right at the 15, falls across to the 16-yard line. But West Middlesex doesn't appear to be in any big hurry here with 40 seconds to go.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
3-yard pickup for Tate.
Well, as you mentioned, Brian, they get the ball back after the half. The game is tied. The worst thing that could happen right now is to throw an interception and put Eisenhower in scoring range with 30 seconds on the clock or something. So that's a smart move by West Middlesex.
Clock ticks down. We are at 12 seconds to go. Tate's going to be under center for this one. Takes a snap, gives it up to middle to Smith, and Smith is taken down at the 25, and that will do it for the first half.
And we've got a tie ball game, 7-7 at halftime.
So, one half of play here in the books. District 10, Class 1A football playoff semifinal action. West Middlesex, Eisenhower tied 7-7. You are listening to high school football on D9and10sports.com. D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters would like to thank the following for helping bring you tonight's game: Briggs Transport, IWF, Sue and Jean Wilston, Kathy Briggs, Linbro Holsteins and Dairy, Porter Trucking, Carlson Auto Repair, Barney and Barb Alexander, Marion Littlefield, Justin and Amanda Darr, Doris and Skip Trumbull, Timberline Farms, Lottsville Milling, Warren General Hospital, Neil's Propane, Matt Alexander, Sue Dunkel, the Bunk family, the Hamilton family, Jane and Becky Stewart, Samantha Wooden, Primerica Financial Services, Marty and Debbie Lillistead, Joe and Joe Scully, Donna Fry, the Lindemuth family, Corey and Wendy McQueen, Alice Wooden, Tom and Debbie Wooden, Dean and Karen Morton, November Dunn, Jerry and Sean Yeager, Guts and Glory Pulling, Jeanette Haskins, Kenzie Dunn, Precision Precut, Larry and Peggy Willis, Sue Crosby, Larry and Missy Willis, Don and Pam Schreckengost, Trudy Bull, Lori Rulander, Chad and Linda Abbott, Grandma Wenzel, and Conrad Haltman. Tonight's broadcast was made possible through your generosity. Thank you from all of us at D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters. Looking for a great holiday gift? Need to find the just right arrangement for your special occasion? How about the perfect complement for homecoming or prom? Then head to Sulene Creations in Sugar Grove. At Sulene Creations, we have flowers for all occasions and gifts for every holiday. We will help make your wedding day spectacular and the prom unforgettable. Call 814-489-7868. Stop into our shop at 6584 Matthews Run Road in Sugar Grove or visit us on Facebook. Sulene Creations is a proud sponsor of Eisenhower football, band, and cheer.
Looking for a new or used car or truck? Then look no further than Nolf Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fairmont City. Nolf's selection of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram truck brands, coupled with an assortment of used vehicles, provide customers a wide variety of buying options. They have the vehicle you need at the price you can afford. Nolf's service and parts team of highly qualified technicians is focused on providing exceptional service in a timely manner, and its body shop can't be beat. Visit Nolf's online at nolfdodge.com, like them on Facebook, or stop by and see what they have to offer.
And welcome back in here to Eisenhower High School, West Middlesex, and Eisenhower tied 7-7 at halftime. This is the Sulene Creations halftime show. We're going to take a step aside here and let you listen to the sounds of the Eisenhower Knights Marching Band.
Seasonal changes, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and returning to spring again. The solos tonight is Jesse Hansberger on the flute, so please sit back and enjoy as the Eisenhower Knights Marching Band performs the season.
that was the Eisenhower Knights marching band with tonight's halftime performance. And tonight, halftime stats are brought to you by Wilcox Brothers, True Value in Sugar Grove. And Cody, what stats do we have through the first half tonight?
Well, they're not as big a numbers as we're normally reporting at halftime. For West Middlesex, Ty Tate, passing, not much there. 1 for 3, 6 yards. Rushing has been where Tate has had his success. He's got 7 carries for 29 yards, and he has West Middlesex' only touchdown. Colby Johnson is their leading rusher by 1 yard off of 4 carries. West Middlesex has 1 sack, and the key stat for them is not a good one. 4 penalties for 35 yards, and 2 of those penalties on huge offensive plays that potentially could have led to a scoring drive down here in the final 2 minutes of the first half. On the Eisenhower side of the ball, Trumbull is 3 for 6 for 33 yards. Again, just like West Middlesex, not much of a passing attack, although he had a 21-yarder to Robinall early in the game. Rushing, Cale Black is 9 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown for the Knights, and Trumbull has 5 carries for 15 yards. The Knights do have 2 sacks, and they have been penalized twice for 20 yards.
Okay, so those were tonight's halftime stats, again brought to you by Wilcox Brothers, True Value in Sugar Grove. And we'll take a look at some out-of-town scores on the Swift Kennedy and Company scoreboard. Over in District 9, the Class 2A championship game, Brookville leads Karn City 14-7 at the half. In the District 5-9 Class 3A sub-regional game, Bedford leading Clearfield 19-7 in the second quarter. In our other District 10 Class 1A semifinal, Reynolds has a 20-0 lead over Cambridge Springs at the half. In the District 10 Class 3A semifinals, Grove City over Fort LaBeouf 18-0 at the half. And Hickory has a 23-0 lead over Slippery Rock. That game is in the second quarter. The District 6 8-9 sub-regional championship, Bellefonte leads Juniata 14-7 in the second quarter. In the regular season, Otto Eldred 20, Bradford 7, second quarter. Port Allegheny 22, Cameron County 6. West Branch 7, Kerwinsville 7. That game's in the first quarter. Mercer leads Cochranton 6-0 at the half. Sharpsville 7-0 over Greenville. And Sagertown 21-0 over Seneca. Both those games are in the second quarter. Maplewood and Union City are tied at 0 at the half. Northeast leads Fairview 8-0 second quarter. McDowell has a 14-6 lead over Cathedral Prep in the second quarter. Penns Valley 7, Bald Eagle area 0. Phillipsburg Osceola 21, Bucktail 7, both those games in the second quarter. That was our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you tonight by Swift Kennedy & Company. Swift Kennedy & Company is the official insurance provider for D9and10sports.com. This is the Sulian Creations halftime show. We're going to get back for second half action here in the District 10 Class 1A semifinals. West Middlesex, Eisenhower tied at 7. This is high school football on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. Wilcox Brothers True Value in Sugar Grove, PA is your locally owned hardware store. We're proud to be a member of the True Value family, and we're here to serve our community. Whether you're a pro or taking on a DIY home improvement project for the first time, we're right here in your neighborhood with the expert advice, tools, equipment, and the products you need to get the job done. Wilcox Brothers True Value in Sugar Grove, PA. We're here to help. Come in and see us today. The Hub at PF wants to thank Warren and Chautauqua counties and the surrounding communities for the incredible outpouring of love and support during our first year. From the original concept to our opening to our full schedule all summer and fall, the generosity and faith you've shown us has been overwhelming. Thank you for helping us build relationships in the community while we work to restore hope and transform lives.
At Pine Grove Auto Sales, located in Russell, we take pride in the way we do business. We focus 100% on our customers and believe car buying should be a fun, hassle-free experience. Our impressive selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs is sure to meet your needs. We'd like to thank you for considering Pine Grove Auto for your next vehicle purchase. Contact us today at 814-757-7030 or visit us at 7160 Market Street in Russell. Palmieri Financial Group was established to bring a holistic planning approach to the areas we serve. Using the financial planning process, we are able to ascertain our clients' financial goals and objectives, then develop a plan to pursue those goals and objectives. We look to building lasting relationships with our clients and take pride in the accomplishments of the goals they have set. Contact them today at 814-230-9055 or visit them at 224 Liberty Street in Warren.
Looking for a new or used car, or truck? Then look no further than Nolf Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fairmont City. Nolf's selection of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram truck brands, coupled with an assortment of used vehicles, provide customers a wide variety of buying options. They have the vehicle you need at the price you can afford. Nolf's service and parts team of highly qualified technicians is focused on providing exceptional service in a timely manner, and its body shop can't be beat. Visit Nolf's online at nolfdodge.com, like them on Facebook, or stop by and see what they have to offer.
Need plumbing, heating, or air conditioning services in Western PA? Then call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Clarion today at 814-226-8695. At Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, we believe that a service-oriented business like ours should give you quality care and a quick response time. That's why we stand on our promise, offering you reliable 24-hour service that gets your job done right when you need it. We can also be found on the web at lutonsplumbing.com. Again, that number is 814-226-8695. Are you looking for a place to live in the Clarion area? Then take a look at GC Town Properties. At GC Town Properties, our apartments have accommodations for many people, and they are more than apartments to our diverse group of tenants. They call it their home. GC Town Properties are available at prices you can afford. Check us out online at gctownproperties.com or call us today at 814-226-8910. Don't just find an apartment, find a home with GC Town Properties.
D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters would like to thank the following for helping bring you tonight's game: Briggs Transport, IWF, Sue and Jean Wilston, Kathy Briggs, Lindbro Holsteins and Dairy, Porter Trucking, Carlson Auto Repair, Barney and Barb Alexander, Marion Littlefield, Justin and Amanda Darr, Doris and Skip Trumbull, Timberline Farms, Lottsville Milling, Warren General Hospital, Neil's Propane, Matt Alexander, Sue Dunkel, the Bunk family, the Hamilton family, Jane and Becky Stewart, Samantha Wooden, Primerica Financial Services, Marty and Debbie Lillestead, Joe and Joe Scully, Donna Fry, the Lindemuth family, Corey and Wendy McQueen, Alice Wooden, Tom and Debbie Wooden, Dean and Karen Morton, November Dunn, Jerry and Sean Yeager, Guts and Glory Pulling, Jeanette Haskins, Kenzie Dunn, Precision Precut, Larry and Peggy Willis, Sue Crosby, Larry and Missy Willis, Don and Pam Schreckengost, Trudy Bull, Lori Rulander, Chad and Linda Abbott, Grandma Wenzel, and Conrad Haltman. Tonight's broadcast was made possible through your generosity. Thank you from all of us at D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9 and 10 Sports.com radio network.
Welcome back in here to Eisenhower High School, getting set to start the second half of this District 10 Class 1A football playoff semifinal. Eisenhower and West Middlesex are tied at 7. Again, want to thank all of the donors who made tonight's broadcast possible. Do want to also add PGE and Ernie and Mary Carlson to that list. Again, thank you very much for making tonight's broadcast possible. Getting ready to start the third quarter, and tonight's third quarter is brought to you by BGM Custom Wear by Brookville Glove. Eisenhower received the opening kick, so they will kick off to start the second half. West Middlesex will receive. And it looks like number 15, Alex Ray, back deep for the Big Reds. Jake Venman to kick off for the Knights.
Yeah, in the first half, Brian, West Middlesex, as we mentioned during the halftime show, 2 big penalties that negated 2 big plays. I look for them to clean that up a little bit. Other than that, they've had a little bit of success that's ran pretty much through Ty Tate.
Advances in the District 10 playoff.
And Venman does pooch the kick a little bit, and it is fielded at the 20.
By Johnson.
Johnson takes it out across the 30, and that's where West Middlesex will take over.
Right away, it looks like by Jared Beers over there.
And it looks like they're going to mark him down right at the 30. So West Middlesex, with its first possession of the second half, chance to take the lead for the first time here tonight, will have to go 70 yards as they start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Eisenhower on defense with the 2 sacks tonight. They're playing up to par on the defensive front. But one thing that they've done well all season is forced turnovers. So I think for the Knights to stop West Middlesex tonight, they're going to have to force some turnovers in the second half.
Tate looking deep on first down, has a man, Robinault fighting with Chris Smith, and Smith comes up with the catch at the Eisenhower 30. And Cody, you and I were talking at halftime off air. We said whichever team was able to make a big play might come out on top, and there's a big play to start the second half for West Middlesex.
Oh, absolutely. They just completely flipped the field.
So West Middlesex now on the Eisenhower 30 after the big pass from Ty Tate to Chris Smith.
Here's Tate under center.
And Tate gives to the up man, that is Ian Smith. There's a flag down from the secondary.
By Benson.
Smith got maybe 2 on the carry, but we'll see what the penalty is here.
Short gain on the play, but there's a flag down.
Officials talking it over.
They're talking to the Knights, so we got to think it's on West Middlesex.
And the signal is with a chop block against the Big Reds. So that's going to back them up a bit. But still, Cody, that was a gutsy call to come out first play of the second half and take your shot right away.
Well, you know, those 2 penalties kind of that they had in the first half there, they kind of take away from the fact that West Middlesex was successful on both those big plays. Certainly that the big pass play they had down the sideline, very similar route to what we just saw here.
That brings it back 15
So big penalty against the Big Reds, takes the ball back to the 45-yard line of Eisenhower, and it will be 1st and 25 now for West Middlesex.
50 penalty yards now for West Middlesex.
Tate in the gun, has 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Drops back to pass, under pressure, they set up the screen. Screen is to Ian Smith, or excuse me, that's Colby Johnson, has the ball, got space, and Johnson is tackled down inside the 20. Looks like he got right to the 10-yard line. So again, West Middlesex taking advantage of that Eisenhower pass rush, sets up the screen. Tate to Colby Johnson. Goes 35 yards, and it is 1st and goal quickly here for the Big Reds. Just under 11 minutes to go in the third quarter.
A couple of pass plays, one of 40 and one of 35 yards. Certainly not good for the Eisenhower defense.
Inside the 10, so
1st and goal for the Big Reds on the 10-yard line. Tie ball game, 7-7. Tate gives to Johnson. Nothing doing there up the middle.
Very quickly there.
And Cody, you mentioned it, the big pass plays. We have seen throughout the season, if that Eisenhower defense has been susceptible to anything, it's been the pass.
Yeah, they've gotten beaten over the top a number of times throughout this year, and they've just been lucky that they've typically in those scenarios they've had a large enough lead that it really hasn't affected the game much. But we spoke then, and it's coming to fruition now that if they face tougher competition, they're not going to be able to get away with that. They're going to have a solid secondary to stop this West Middlesex offense in the second half.
2nd and goal. Tate back to pass, under pressure, gets away, still on his feet, and he's taken down. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard on the play. Tate trying to keep the play alive as long as possible.
Doesn't look like he really has any yardage. He's still just over the 10-yard.
Looks like he did just get back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and goal now from the 9 for the Big Reds, looking to take the lead for the first time. 9:15 to go here in the third quarter. Couple of big pass plays have the Big Reds in scoring position here.
They've had success with the screen. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw one here as well.
Tate now has 3 receivers left, 1 right. And the option to Johnson. This time Eisenhower sniffs it out. Gannon Jaquay drops Johnson for a loss. Looks like down to the 12, so a 3-yard loss for Johnson on the play will make it 4th and goal for West Middlesex now from the 12. And a big play here early in the third quarter of this game.
Yeah, despite giving up some big plays in the secondary, Eisenhower's front four have really done a good job of stopping West Middlesex up front, and they were all over that one.
Tate dropping back to pass, has some time, fired, looking for the corner, has a man, it is caught, out of bounds. Alex Ray made the catch, but he was out of bounds.
Out of the back of the end zone.
And it looks like Ray fell into the covering for the long jump or pole vault pit there, Cody. So a little tough for him to get up, but a big stop for Eisenhower. Ray had a step in the back of the end zone, and he just couldn't get the feet down inbounds.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit where it's due, though. Tate with a beautiful throw, and Ray being able to pull it down and just not getting his footing right still doesn't count as a completion, but it was a pretty nice play to watch unfold regardless.
And so he is back up and looks to be walking off under his own power. Always glad to see that. Don't want to see anybody get hurt on these during these games at all. But the larger story now, Cody. Big stop by the Eisenhower defense. They take over deep in their own territory. First possession of the second half. It'll be first down for the Knights from their own 12.
Yeah, Eisenhower's had a little bit of trouble running up the middle and really getting their running game going. So another place that they can attack, much like West Middlesex, though, is they can attack through the air. You know, let's not forget that Trumbull has almost 1,200 yards on the season.
So we'll see if Eisenhower comes out and takes a shot, though Trumbull will be under center to start this drive.
Offense, Trumbull under center.
From the 12, Trumbull gives to Black. Black looking for some space up the middle, and there's just nothing there. Picks up maybe a yard on the play, 2nd and 9 for Eisenhower. And you said it, Cody, the Knights are just unable to run the ball up the middle on this Big Reds defense.
2nd and 10.
Yeah, when you're facing a stout defensive line like that, really, you know, outside of misdirection plays or trick plays, your biggest weapon against them is a screen or attacking over the top. Just running right at it is very difficult to do.
Trumbull in the gun now. And he fakes to Black, pulls it down, fires, looking for Zane Alexander, in and out of his hands. Alexander was right there. The ball just went through his hands. So it'll be 3rd and a long 9 for the Knights from their own 13 after the big 4th down stop.
If you're Eisenhower here, obviously you're trying to get the first down, but you want to pick up some yardage if you have to punt to try to put West Middlesex in their own territory.
And again, it looks like there's some confusion about what the formation is supposed to be. We saw that earlier, and it led to a loss. They've got it now. Trumbull in the gun. Looking, fires, has Benson. Benson with the catch and spins away from a man. Benson down the sideline, across the 25. He will have enough for the Eisenhower first down. Trumbull to Benson. Gets the Knights the first down they needed. Gets out to the 26-yard line, so a 14-yard pickup there.
They're up to the 26-yard line.
It'll be first down for Eisenhower. Trumbull going to be under center this time. Has Bauer and Black in the eye. And the give is to Black. Black spins. Gets out to the 29. Looks like a 3-yard pickup there for Cale Black. Will make it 2nd and 7 for Eisenhower.
29. We're going to call it 2nd and 7.
7 minutes to go, third quarter. Eisenhower, West Middlesex, 7-7. District 10, Class 1A football semifinal playoffs. Trumbull under center. Takes a snap, gives to Black up the middle. And again, there's just nowhere for Cale Black to run up the middle of this West Middlesex defense.
Yeah, Eisenhower hasn't faced a lot of this year. And you wonder what their playbook looks like in situations like this, if they have any misdirection plays that they've worked on in practice, because up until this point they really haven't had to utilize them.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 for Eisenhower from its own 29. Trumbull in the gun, Black to his left. Fakes to Black, Trumbull looking, has time, fires, looking for Alexander, underthrew him.
Get it to Alexander, but it falls incomplete. So we're going to have a 4th down here.
Brings up 4th down for Eisenhower. Trumbull looked like he was unsure whether he wanted to tuck it and run or fire the pass on that play.
Yeah, he did one little extra pump fake there, and then was hit just as he was throwing the ball, and it came up short.
So 4th and 7 with 6:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Trumbull back to punt. Eddie Lowe back deep to receive. Trumbull gets the punt away, and then he's run into. Fair catch for Lowe. We'll see if this is running in or roughing the kicker. Big call here.
Around the kicker. Let's see what it is.
We know Trumbull was run into. It is the personal foul, roughing the kicker. Eisenhower gets a big break on the 15-yard penalty, roughing the kicker by West Middlesex. Keeps the drive alive for the Knights.
Another huge penalty against West Middlesex in this game that it changed their good play. They had Eisenhower stop there. They were going to get the ball around the 40-yard line in their territory, and they've been attacking over the top, but that penalty now gives Eisenhower another chance, and they're right around midfield now.
So the penalty moves Eisenhower out to the 39.5-yard line, but it more importantly brings up a 1st down. Trumbull under center, gives to Black off the left side. Black has some space this time, spins away and gets to midfield.
Running by Black up to the 50-yard line.
6-yard carry there for Cale Black. Make it 2nd and 4 for the Knights.
I'll tell you, Brian, there's not a yard that Black hasn't had to fight for tonight.
5 yards to go for the 1st down here, 2nd and 5.
And you got to wonder, with as little successes they've had running up the middle, they still keep going to it. Are they maybe setting up for a play-action pass later in the game? The give is to Bauer up the middle. There's nothing there for him either. Pickup of maybe a yard.
We're going to spot his forward progress at about the 49-yard line.
Yeah, you think, Brian, that they're trying to set up a play action, or maybe Penley just has the thought process that Black is tough enough and strong enough to wear down that defensive line and eventually break one free.
3rd and 4 for Eisenhower from the West Middlesex 49. Trumbull in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, and Trumbull's going to keep it off the left side. He's got the edge. Trumbull looking for a blocker, gets out across the 40, and he's down to the 38-yard line. A 1st down run for Owen Trumbull.
Trumbull had that little stutter step there, and that got him probably an extra 3 or 4 yards on the carry.
So Eisenhower with a fresh set of downs here on the Owen Trumbull run at the West Middlesex 38-yard line. 4:30 to go, 3rd quarter. Eisenhower, West Middlesex 7-7, District 10, Class 1A semifinal football playoffs. Trumbull under center. Bauer the fullback. Black in the eye.
False start in the Knights. We're going to start that over again.
And it's a false start on Eisenhower. So that's going to back the Knights up 5.
Now the Knights will have 1st and 15.
Out to the 43, make it a 1st and 15. Trumbull looking to the sideline to get the play. He'll come out under center.
Trumbull under center.
Bauer and Black in the backfield. The give is to Black off the right side. Had a little bit of a hole. Gets out.
Right.
Looks like he got the penalty yardage back, so it'll be a
Gets the ball back up to the 40.
2nd and 10 now for Eisenhower. 3:35 to go in the 3rd quarter of a tie game, 7-7. Eisenhower and West Middlesex from Eisenhower High School. Benson in motion. The give is to Bauer up the middle. Bauer's got some space, gets down to the 36. Pick up a 4. We'll make it 3rd and 6.
36-yard line. Gonna bring up 30.
Knights need to get to the West Middlesex 30 to keep the drive alive here, as we are under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
You wonder if they end up anywhere near that first down marker if this is 4-down territory.
High snap, Trumbull corrals, fakes to Black. Trumbull going to take off with it, has some space, and then he's drilled just across the 35-yard line. Looks like he gets to the 33.
Knights are down to about the 33-yard line. We're now to be about 4th and 4.
So it's going to be a 4th and looks like a 3 or 4 yards to pick up the first down.
Big 4th down play for the Eisenhower Knights.
And Eisenhower's going to keep the offense on the field. 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Trumbull in the gun. Black to his right. 2 receivers each side. High snap, Trumbull. And he's got a man. It's Jones. Mike Jones fumbles the ball. Up in the air. West Middlesex recovers. What a turn of events. Jones looked like he had the first down. Gets popped. Loses the ball. And West Middlesex recovers the fumble, just their second fumble recovery of the season, but a big one here late in the third quarter of this District 10 semifinal playoff game.
Spectacular play there. West Middlesex comes up with the ball, and they have first down.
So it'll be first down for the Big Reds from their own 32-yard line. You know, Mike Jones has made a lot of plays for Eisenhower defensively, but that's the first time I can remember this season, Cody, seeing him get the ball offense.
Yeah, earlier we spoke about Eisenhower trying to force turnovers, and it was West Middlesex that took advantage of that.
Tate under center.
Tate gives it up the middle. Chris Smith on the carry. Gets out to the 35. We'll make it a 2nd and 7 for West Middlesex.
Goes up to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
As we approach 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter at Eisenhower High School, Knights, Big Reds, tied at 7. District 10 Class 1A semifinals. And again, tonight's third quarter is brought to you tonight by BGM Custom Wear by Brookville Glove. 2nd and 7 for West Middlesex. Tate under center. Fakes. Tate trying to get to the corner, and he's not going to get it this time. A number of Knights there, and there is a West Middlesex player is down, and looks like he is in some pain. Trainer's immediately out on the field. And as they tend to him, we are going to take a quick break. This is high school football on D9and10sports.com.
For all your automotive needs, look no further than the Warren Tire Center. From new tires to tire repairs, PA state inspections, wheel alignments, and auto detailing, there's so much more that we can do for you, and there's no reason to go anywhere but the Warren Tire Center in Warren, Pennsylvania. With over 40 years of serving the Warren and surrounding communities, it's always been a great day at the Warren Tire Center. We offer same-day service and walk-ins are welcome. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Warren Tire Center can be reached at 814-723-8050 and on the web at warrentirecenter.com.
Presenting KeyBank Smart Checking. Enjoy the freedom of free with an account that fits your lifestyle. The smart choice for a checking account is simple. It's the one that matches your needs and the way you want to live. That means an account with no monthly fees, so your money is your money. It means easy access to your money and digital tools that allow you to bank anytime, anywhere. And it means special tools that help you make even more financial progress, sometimes without even trying. Visit branch manager Tina Dell at 315 2nd Avenue in Warren, PA, or give her a call at 814-723-5355.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
We're back here at Eisenhower High School. That was Luke Rupert was the injured West Middlesex player. He was able to get up and walk off under his own power, but it is 3rd and 7 for West Middlesex. Just under a minute to go here in the third quarter, tied with Eisenhower, 7-7. Tate in the gun, 2 receivers each side. Tate fumbles the snap. He's under pressure, gets away. Still looking downfield, fires, and it is incomplete. Brings up a 4th down. So West Middlesex trying to take advantage of that Eisenhower secondary, but Tate was unable to hold on to the snap there.
Big rush by Michael.
And forced to throw an incomplete pass with 44 seconds to go in the third quarter.
I mentioned at halftime, Tate only had 6 yards passing in the first half. He has 75 here in the second half, so it was no surprise they dropped back to pass there. But the fumbled snap gave Eisenhower just enough time to cause some disruption and force Tate to throw on the run. And to be honest, he was lucky, Brian, that ball wasn't picked off.
Alexander back deep. Tate drops the snap again. He's going to try to take off with it. He's got some space down the sideline. Ty Tate! He's run out of bounds. It will depend on the spot, but it looks like he's going to have a West Middlesex first down after fumbling the snap for a second straight play. We'll see where the spot is. And there is an injured player on the field. Trainers are tending to him. Cannot tell from our vantage point which player is down, but we're going to take a quick break while they tend to him. This is high school football on D9and10sports.com. Have a fender bender? We can mender at Park Avenue Motor Car. Bring your vehicle to Ron and the crew at Park Avenue Motor Car, 7 South Carver Street in Warren, or call 814-726-9728. Park Avenue Motor Car, proudly serving Warren County for 30 years.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
So that was Eisenhower's Caleb Robinault, the injured player on the play with 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. West Middlesex, Eisenhower tied 7-7 in the District 10 Class 1A playoffs. Ty Tate just picked up a big first down after dropping the snap on what would have been a punt. Tate back to pass, looking, firing down the sideline. He's got a man and he overthrows him. Was looking for Lowe down the sideline. And it looked like Lowe actually overran the pass for a second on the play, tried to come back, and then Tate overthrew him.
Yeah, Tate overthrew him. It was a high hanging ball too, and I'm not really sure even if it was pulled down, if it would have been able to be pulled down inbounds.
Makes it 2nd and 10 for West Middlesex with 27 seconds to go in the third quarter. Big Reds, Eisenhower Knights tied 7-7. Tate in the gun, 2 receivers each side. Tate's dropped back into pass, fires, incomplete again, was looking for Johnson in the flat. Makes it 3rd and 10, so a 3rd and long for West Middlesex, and when you get backed up, call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to get you moving again. So another chance here for the Eisenhower defense. Has a 3rd and long. Thought they had him stopped earlier. Tate somehow was able to pick up a first down on a botched play.
Yeah, if I'm Eisenhower, I'm not feeling good. Even if you stop him here, I'm not feeling good until the ball is back in my hands.
Tate back to pass. Fires over the middle. He's got Lowe. And Lowe is taken down by Zane Alexander. But Lowe is into Eisenhower territory and down at the 37-yard line.
West Middlesex is down into Eisenhower territory.
And we've got a flag down in the backfield.
Hold on one moment.
We'll see what the call is here. We got unsportsmanlike conduct against Eisenhower. So you're going to add 15 yards to the end of that play. And with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter, West Middlesex looking at a golden opportunity to take the lead.
So the ball is down to the Eisenhower.
The penalty yardage moves the ball down to the Eisenhower 21, where it'll be first down for the Big Reds. As the clock winds, it looks like West Middlesex is going to let this thing go into the fourth quarter. End of the third quarter. Eisenhower, West Middlesex, 7-7, District 10 Class 1A semifinals. This is high school football on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. The Hub at PF wants to thank Warren and Chautauqua counties and the surrounding communities for the incredible outpouring of love and support during our first year. From the original concept to our opening to our full schedule all summer and fall, the generosity and faith you've shown us has been overwhelming. Thank you for helping us build relationships in the community while we work to restore hope and transform lives. Looking for a great holiday gift? Need to find the just right arrangement for your special occasion? How about the perfect complement for homecoming or prom? Then head to Suline Creations in Sugar Grove. At Suline Creations, we have flowers for all occasions and gifts for every holiday. We will help make your wedding day spectacular and the prom unforgettable. Call 814-489-7868. Stop into our shop at 6584 Matthews Run Road in Sugar Grove or visit us on Facebook. Suline Creations is a proud sponsor of Eisenhower Football, Band, and Cheer.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
And here we go, fourth quarter, District 10 Class 1A football semifinals. Eisenhower, West Middlesex, tied 7-7. Big Reds have a 1st and 10 on the Eisenhower 21. Tate going to take off up the middle. Ty Tate gets down across the 20. He is in the red zone. Tonight's fourth quarter is brought to you by Warren Tire Center. It's always a great day at Warren Tire Center.
Kill Black.
And you can't ask for much more than this, Cody. District 10 playoffs, we're going into the fourth quarter in a tie ball game.
Yeah, it's certainly, from our perspective, it's everything we want when broadcasting a football game.
It's a 3-yard pickup there for Tate, makes it 2nd and 7. Big Reds are inside the Eisenhower 20 at the 18-yard line.
Tate, just for a little stat for you, Brian, Tate has 102 yards passing already.
Tate in the gun, drops back, fires, he's got a man, and it is incomplete.
Looks like it was tipped slightly.
Was looking for Chris Smith coming across the middle, but that'll make it 3rd and 7 for West Middlesex.
So now it's 3rd and 7.
And we have seen, Cody, we talked about the weakness in this Eisenhower defense is in the passing game, and West Middlesex has certainly looked to exploit it here in the second half.
Yeah, they must have made some, they saw some plays that they made in the first half that were obviously called back by penalties, made some adjustments at halftime, and really came out slinging it. Of Tate's 102 yards, you have to remember only 6 of those were in the first half. So pretty impressive half by Tate.
So we got a timeout taken by Eisenhower.
So West Middlesex is going to take a timeout and talk it over, and this timeout is brought to you by the Gerg Insurance Agencies. To ensure that you have the right game plan, call Ed Gerg, Allstate Insurance Agencies in Warren, Ridgeway, and St. Mary's. Hey, Cody, before we get to this big third down play, you got to think at the 18-yard line, if you're West Middlesex, you got the whole playbook at your disposal because you know that this has to be four down territory.
You do, and we discussed before the game how well-rounded this offense is, and they've had a little bit of success in the running game, mostly through Tate, but in the passing game has been their big yard gainer. But at this position on the field, like you said, anything is able to be ran. Because you're just trying to chip away and make your way into the end zone here. You don't need necessarily to have the huge play.
Okay, well, we do have a second as they come out of the timeout. Do want to again say thank you to everyone who's donated to help make tonight's broadcast possible. And again, our sponsors, Skylon Mold, here in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 7 for West Middlesex. 11-10 to go, fourth quarter. Big Reds, Eisenhower Knights tied 7-7. Tate in the gun, drops back to pass. Has time, fires over the middle, he's got a man, and it is incomplete. There is a flag down. The flag is back near the line of scrimmage.
We'll see
what the call is here. Pass was too high again, intended for Chris Smith. There's a personal foul against West Middlesex. That's a huge penalty. Cody going to take him way back here.
That bumps West Middlesex up to 80 yards in penalties, and it really, Brian, it seems like they come at the worst time.
So the officials getting set to mark off the penalty yardage. So that was a dead ball foul. So not only do they back up 15 yards, but they lose the down. So it's a 4th down now for West Middlesex.
The down counts, and now we are at 4th down.
That's a huge call.
A bad situation got worse right there.
4th and 22 now for West Middlesex. 11:04 to go here in the 4th quarter.
And now it negates what we discussed before. Now they don't have their whole playbook. It's almost certainly a pass.
Tate back to pass. Under pressure from Black. Looking down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Incomplete. So the penalty costs West Middlesex big time. Knights are going to take over. Huge defensive stop for Eisenhower late in this game.
A little bit of luck in the secondary. Played cover. They were a little bit more dominant in their coverage. I noticed the receivers for West Middlesex weren't getting the step on the Knights secondary as much as they were on previous series.
So Eisenhower will take over. 1st and 10 at its own 32. 10:56 to go, 4th quarter. Knights tied with West Middlesex, 7-7. District 10 Class 1A semifinals. Winner faces Reynolds or Cambridge Springs next week.
Here come the Knights.
Trumbull under center.
32-yard line.
Takes the snap. He drops back to pass. Pumps. Looking for Robinault down the sideline. Robinault cannot make the catch.
And the ball is incomplete.
Good closing speed there. Looks like that was Johnson on the coverage. Got some help from Ian Smith over the top at safety. Robinault had a step for a second, but the Eisenhower defense converged and forced an incompletion.
There was a small window there for Trumbull to get him the ball. A little too much hang time on it. Let the defense catch up and bat that ball away.
2nd and 10 now for Eisenhower from their own 32. 10:48 to go, 4th quarter. 7-7 game, Eisenhower, West Middlesex. Give is to Black up the middle. Black spins, gets out to the 35, and that'll be it, but it will be 3rd and 7 now.
Up to the 35-yard line. The official is spotting it.
And again, you're seeing some of these West Middlesex players a little slow to get up. That time it was number 62, Nick Gearhart. But he does make it up and will stay in the game, so it makes it 3rd and 7 for Eisenhower from their own 35. 10:20 to go, 4th quarter. 7-7. Knights, Big Reds. District 10 playoffs. Trumbull in the gun. 2 receivers to his left. Black to his left. Trumbull going to keep it off the left side. Picks up a block. Trying to stay on his feet. Gets out across the 40. Looks like he's going to be just shy. 4th and 1 maybe coming up here for Cody, and this is a decision now for Eisenhower coach Jim Penley.
Yeah, it is. They've taken a few shots in the passing game. Trumbull he's about 50% right now, but looks like Penley's going to get gutsy and he's going to go for it, take advantage of this opportunity.
4th and 1 for Eisenhower from its own 41. 9:25 to go, 4th quarter. Trumbull's going to keep it, tries to fall forward. It'll depend on the spot.
That's going to be close.
Official on the near side looks like he's got enough. We'll see what the call is. We'll see where they put it down. Officials looking, and it is a 1st down. Owen Trumbull on the sneak keeps the drive alive for Eisenhower with 9:19 to go in the 4th quarter of this tie game. 7-7, Knights and Big Reds.
What a power sneak by Trumbull, too, because you could tell the Big Reds, they knew that was coming because Trumbull did it earlier in the game and was successful, but he was able to just get enough to get that first down.
So 1st and 10 for Eisenhower from its own 42. Trumbull under center. Takes the snap. Now it looks like we got a false start on Eisenhower. The center kind of did the fake snap move there. You're not allowed to do that. So the 5-yard penalty will make it 1st and 15 for Eisenhower from its 37. 9 minutes to go, fourth quarter of this 7-7 game. Eisenhower, West Middlesex. Trumbull looking to the sideline. Now they have the play. Trumbull's going to be in the gun. Black to his right. And Trumbull rolling right. Looking, fires, and nearly intercepted. Was looking for Trevor Welker. Was almost picked off by Ty Tate. And if Ty Tate had got his hands on that, he was gone.
Yeah, there was no one in front of him. And that would have been one of those big plays that we've talked about that could really just have a huge impact on the game. So Eisenhower got pretty lucky on that play.
2nd and 15 for Eisenhower. And I'll tell you, Cody, West Middlesex has done a good job. We have not called Dylan Benson's name much in the passing game today.
Yeah, Benson just under 30 yards receiving tonight.
Trumbull in the gun on 2nd and 15. 2 receivers to his left, Black to his right. And Trumbull fumbles the snap, and he's under pressure. He gets away. Trumbull still on his feet. Owen Trumbull up down the sideline. Owen Trumbull, it's a foot race. Can he make it? Trumbull goes all the way. Owen Trumbull, 63 yards. But there is a flag down at midfield.
Folks, temper your enthusiasm.
Another flag, gonna wipe out a big play. And it is a hold against Eisenhower. Cody, that's the 3rd time tonight one of these teams has made a huge play, and it is wiped out on a penalty. Excuse me, it's a block in the back, not a hold.
It's a block in the back call, and the Knights back around the 50-yard line.
Wipes out what would have been a 63-yard touchdown run for Owen Trumbull. And again, just like Ty Tate on the 4th down, Trumbull fumbled the snap, picked it up, and took off with it.
Both these quarterbacks tonight, I know they've been under pressure. They've gotten beat up a lot. They've had hit-and-miss success in the passing game. But I'll tell you, both of them have really come through on some big plays when it looked like the plays were going to fall apart. It really is good, impressive quarterback play, especially given the field conditions.
So it is a spot foul. So the net yardage gives Trumbull essentially a 3-yard gain on the play, makes it 2nd and 12 from the 40-yard line. Trumbull's going to go under center. And turns, gives it to Bauer up the middle. Bauer plowing forward. Gets out to the 44.
And he is up to the 44-yard line.
That's where the Knights will have 3rd down. They need to get to the West Middlesex, across the West Middlesex 48-yard line to pick up 1st down here. $7:49 to go in the 4th quarter.
I have no doubt, Brian, that if they pick up half of this, that Penley's going to go for it.
Trumbull in the gun, drops back, going to his left, trying to pick up a block. Can't quite get one. Gets to the 45, and that's it.
Owen Trumbull up to the 45-yard line where it'll be 4th down.
So it looks like Eisenhower's going to send the punting unit on here with 7:20 to go in the 4th quarter. Knights and Big Reds tied at 7. District 10 Class 1A semifinals. Winner gets Reynolds or Cambridge Springs next week for the District 10 title.
Look a lot muddier here at this point in the game.
Low snap. Trumbull gets the kick away. And it bounces inside the 20.
Keegan Ekstrom races down there and down.
And it'll be down by Eisenhower at the 17-yard line. So 6:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. West Middlesex will take over from their own 17. And at this point in the game, Cody, you got to think whoever gets the next points on the board is probably going to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, the big plays have been there. We've seen some success with both offenses, but penalties have really shot both teams in the foot.
So 1st and 10 for West Middlesex. Their own 17-yard line. 6:57 to go, fourth quarter. Tie game, 7-7. Big Reds, Eisenhower Knights. Tate under center. Fakes the pitch. He's going to keep it. Tries to get the edge. Picks up a blocker, and then is wrecked out of bounds. There's a flag down on the hit by Benson. So Tate's going to get out across the 25, and then probably another 15 on a late hit out of bounds by Dylan Benson. Or no, it's a hold. A hold on West Middlesex. And that's going to wipe out what would have been about an 8 or 9 yard gain for Tate on the keeper. So again, Cody, penalties are just
off 10 yards from the 21, so we're going to say it's going to go back down to about the 11.
putting both teams, or wiping out big plays for both teams so far.
Yeah, you're seeing these penalties occur on these big plays. It might benefit some of these offensive drives for them to just try to chip away and limit the risk of committing a foul.
He says, whatever you say. Danny, do you say
So the ball is down to the 11. Makes it 1st and 17 now for West Middlesex. Tate in the gun, 3 receivers to his right.
All right, Ty Tate gets a snap.
Tate back to pass, fires quickly. He's got a man, and the ball is caught by Johnson.
Johnson does catch it, but he falls to turf immediately. So
Goes down immediately after catching the ball, but gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Ball will be on the 16-yard line and brings up a 2nd and 11 for West Middlesex. 6:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Big Reds and Knights tied 7-7. West Middlesex breaks the huddle. Tate's going to be in the gun. 3 receivers to his left. Johnson in the backfield with him. Excuse me, Smith, and Tate fires over the middle. It is caught. That is number 5, Chris Smith, on the reception. He's out across the 35.
Catch by Smith up over the 45 to the 46.
Takes it to the 36-yard line. And looks like Smith had maybe some cramping on the play, trying to walk it off. But it is a first down for West Middlesex as we tick under 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Game is tied, 7-7. Eisenhower opened the scoring on a 9-yard run from Cale Black. West Middlesex tied it with a Ty Tate 5-yard run in the second quarter. And the give is to Johnson up the middle. Johnson picks up about 3 on the play. And a flag late.
Get a flag after the play.
So apparently some extracurricular activity in the huddle there.
Advanced up to the 40, but
we'll see what the call is. And it is unsportsmanlike against West Middlesex.
Another unsportsmanlike conduct.
And that's going to take the Big Reds back to the 25-yard line.
115 penalty yards, Brian.
So that's going to move the ball
so
back.
5:21 to go. And Middlesex had been out to the 40. They're now back to the 25. And it looks like the official is over explaining to West Middlesex coach Mark Means what the penalty was.
Should be second down.
And that makes it now second and 25 for West Middlesex.
25 yards to go here.
Tate in the gun, 3 receivers to his right. Tate back to pass. Firing down the sideline. He's got a man. It could not make the catch.
Caleb Robinall in the coverage there.
Robinall was on the coverage. It's like maybe Declan Schweitzer was the intended target there.
Tate overthrew him by just a couple of yards. Schweitzer had the step on Robinall, but had that ball been on the mark, I think the Big Red would have the ball around the 40-yard line, if not have scored a touchdown.
But it does fall incomplete, so it makes it 3rd and 25 now for West Middlesex. 4:58 to go, fourth quarter. Big Reds, Knights tied 7-7. Tate in the gun. He's going to drop back to pass.
What's he going to do?
He's scrambling, and he fires, and it is incomplete on the sideline. Was looking for Chris Smith on the far sideline, but could not connect. And it'll make it 4th and 26 now for West Middlesex.
It looked like Tate originally, his first read was this receiver on this near sideline here, and he was very well covered. So he had to roll right and try to find an open man, and then great defense on the opposite side of the field as well.
It looked like they were trying to run essentially the same play that they had run before, but the coverage was better on the near side. 4th and 25 now, 4:49 to go. Tate's going to take off with it, and he fires, and it is caught, but it's going to be short of the first down. Eisenhower holds.
It looks like he was out of bounds. Let's see what the call is on the field.
And now the officials may be saying Tate was out of bounds on the far side of the field. We'll see where the spot is. Either way, it'll be first down for Eisenhower.
The ball either way, it's a question of where they're going to spot the ball. There's some idea that Tate may have been out of bounds when he threw the ball.
Officials are conferring over there.
Looks like they may spot the ball back on the 25, 24-yard line.
With 4:11 to go, Eisenhower's going to take over here. It's going to be in West Middlesex territory either way.
Boy, if Eisenhower can start this drive around the 25-yard line, that'd be huge.
And they do mark it. The official comes back and says first down at the West Middlesex 40, but still Eisenhower with just over 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter of a tie game, 40 yards away from taking a lead.
Well, they are calling it a complete pass, but Eisenhower will take over on the West Middlesex 40-yard line, 1st and 10, with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left to go.
And what a gutsy call there by West Middlesex, deep in their own territory to fake the punt and nearly picked up the first down.
Yeah, it's a very much a high-risk, high-reward situation. Unfortunately, it didn't go West Middlesex way, and now they put Eisenhower in a position with 4 minutes to go to take control of this game. And like you were saying earlier, the next team to score has a really high percentage chance of winning the way that this game has gone so far.
So now you see Eisenhower coach Jim Penley looking for an explanation. Was hoping to get that ball out near the 20.
Oh, you'll take yards any way you can get them.
And looks like West Middlesex has called a timeout with 4:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. We're going to take them with them. West Middlesex, Eisenhower, 7-7. District 10 football playoffs on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Sports Boosters.
For all your automotive needs, look no further than the Warren Tire Center. From new tires to tire repairs, PA state inspections, wheel alignments, and auto detailing, there's so much more that we can do for you, and there's no reason to go anywhere but the Warren Tire Center in Warren, Pennsylvania. With over 40 years of serving the Warren and surrounding communities, it's always been a great day at the Warren Tire Center. We offer same-day service and walk-ins are welcome. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., the Warren Tire Center can be reached at 814-723-8050 and on the web at warrentirecenter.com.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
Welcome back into the Warren Tire Center fourth quarter here at Eisenhower High School. Brian Hagberg alongside Cody Elms for you on D9and10sports.com. Tonight's high school football action is powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. We do want to say a big thank you to everyone who donated to help make tonight's broadcast possible. 4:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Eisenhower has it 1st and 10 from the West Middlesex 40. 7-7. District 10 Class 1A semifinals. Trip to the District 10 title game on the line. Winner faces Reynolds or Cambridge Springs next week. And here we go. Eisenhower first down. Trumbull under center. And he gives to Bauer up the middle. And nothing there for Benji Bauer. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Met by a host of West Middlesex defenders.
Maybe out 1 yard. Looks like they're going to move the ball over the 40. Barely.
Brings up 2nd and 10 now for Eisenhower.
Pretty much 9.5 to go.
Knights looking to the sideline to get the play. Trumbull's going to be under center again. Has Bauer as the fullback. Cale Black dots the I. And fakes to Black. Trumbull rolling. And now he's going to keep it. And Trumbull gets down.
Gets a few yards.
Across the 40. Looks like he's down to the 37-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Trumbull was looking for the home run ball. Couldn't find it. Now makes it 3rd and 7 for Eisenhower.
I know the appeal to go for the home run ball, but sometimes, a check down can get you that first down, keep your drive alive, knock some time off the clock. But with the pressure that Trumbull's been under all game, trying to get the ball out fast is also vital.
Trumbull takes a snap, looking to pass again. Now rolling, fakes, dumps it off. Cale Black was open, and it just went over his head through the hands. Makes it 4th down, 3:20 to go, fourth quarter. Trumbull had him. You said there was the check down, and the ball just went in and out of Black's hands on the play.
Yeah, that's a tough catch to make. You're on the sideline. We've mentioned the field conditions and affecting the ball. A little bit of a high pass, and Black's a running back. He's not a receiver, so his forte is obviously powering through guys. But big play here for Eisenhower.
Keeps the offense on the field. Trumbull in the gun. Gets the snap, looking to throw. Trumbull still looking, rolling right. Now goes back to his left. And there's a flag down. Trumbull going to fire for Zane Alexander. The pass is caught. Alexander's in the end zone, but there's a flag down in the backfield, and that's a hold on Eisenhower. That's the 2nd time in the fourth quarter. Eisenhower's had a touchdown taken off the board due to a penalty.
Yeah, that was a big hold. It was right here in front of us at about the 45-yard line, and the offensive lineman there, he just grabbed a hold of the defender's arm and pulled him towards himself.
So with just over 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, Eisenhower, for the 2nd time, has a touchdown wiped out due to a penalty.
To point out a positive, though, what a pass by Trumbull. That was on the money.
So that's going to back the Knights up into their own territory on their own 45. Still 4th down. Now you got to think Trumbull's going to punt the ball away. Eddie Lowe back to receive. Trumbull gets the snap, gets the kick away. High kick. Takes an Eisenhower bounce at the 30 and rolls down at the 25. So with exactly 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, West Middlesex gets the ball back. Tie game, 7-7. District 10 Class 1A semifinals. Winner gets either Reynolds or Cambridge Springs for the District 10 Class 1A title next week.
Brian, it's cold enough to see your breath. The field's muddy. It's 7-7. We're at 3 minutes to go. This is the epitome of a test of toughness right now for both of these teams.
So we'll see which team is able to come up with the big play. And we do, at some point, Cody, we're going to have to name our Jim Kelly Player of the Game, powered by the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg. And it may come down to whoever makes the big play to win the game. Tight takes the handoff, fakes it twice, rolling, firing, looking for his man, and it is incomplete. There's a flag on the play. Caleb Robinault deflected the ball away, and it looks like the back judge is going to call him for pass interference. Far side of the field, it looked like Robinault had his hand on the man, but man, with 3 minutes to go in the game, that's a tough call for if you're the Eisenhower defense.
That is certainly a huge penalty.
And it is pass interference against the Knights. It is an automatic first down for West Middlesex.
So the ball will be placed.
Now, the saving grace if you're Eisenhower is, unlike the NFL, this is not a spot foul. So it will be penalty yardage assessed, but it will be first down for West Middlesex. 2:51 to go, fourth quarter at Eisenhower High School. Big Reds, Knights tied 7-7.
15-yard penalty up to about the 40-yard line. It should wind up there. There it is.
And the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line after the penalty. First down for the Big Reds.
Yeah, when you're weighing the outcomes for Eisenhower there, West Middlesex could have had that ball around Eisenhower's 40. So you don't want a penalty, but it worked out better for Eisenhower.
Tate fires quickly. He's got Lowe. Lowe makes a stutter step. Robinault gets him. And Lowe is down at the 45. So 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5 now for West Middlesex with 2:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. And like we said, Cody, this is gut check time for both teams. Who's going to be able to make the big play to win this ball game?
I think for Eisenhower to make the big play, they're going to have to sack Tate. It's been their go-to on defense, has been getting pressure on the quarterback. That defensive line needs to come up big right now.
Tate's in the gun, has 3 receivers to his right. He drops back to pass. Under pressure, gets away, fires, has a man, it's underthrown, and the receiver falls down. We're going to get a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is here. It looked like the receiver just fell down on his own.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped in a muddy area or something over there.
But they do call defensive pass interference again. Man, Cody, that's another tough one. It looked like the receiver was trying to come back to the ball that was underthrown and just slipped down.
In the line of scrimmage, that'll move the ball across midfield to the.
But it does make it first down for West Middlesex at the Eisenhower 40. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
The only thing I can think of on that play, Brian, was Benson had the coverage and didn't turn around quick enough, and he did put a hand on the receiver. That must have been why they called pass interference.
Tate drops back to pass. Black pressuring. He gets it out to Johnson. Johnson surrounded, and he is hit and dropped for a loss. Back across the 45-yard line to the 46.
That is a complete pass, but it is a complete loss.
So there's a big play for the Eisenhower defense with 1:40 to go here in the fourth quarter.
6 yards on that.
6-yard loss on the completion from Tate to Johnson.
And that play started with Black getting in there, just barely missing getting a sack. Tate was able to get the ball off, but the rest of Black's defense was all over it.
2nd and 16, 1:15 to go. Tie game 7-7. West Middlesex, Eisenhower. Middlesex has 2nd and 16 from the Eisenhower 46.
West Middlesex takes their last time out.
And West Middlesex calls their last timeout of the game. This timeout is brought to you by the Gerg Insurance Agencies to ensure that you have the right game plan. Call Ed Gerg, Allstate Insurance Agencies in Warren, Ridgeway, and St. Mary's. So let's reset here for you. Eisenhower opened the game with a 9-yard touchdown from Cale Black on their opening possession of the game. West Middlesex tied it in the second quarter on a 5-yard run from Ty Tate. That's it. That's the scoring that we've had. There have been 2 Eisenhower touchdowns wiped out by penalty. West Middlesex has had a number of big plays wiped out by penalty. So right now, 1:09 to go, fourth quarter. District 10 Class 1A semifinals. Eisenhower, West Middlesex, tied at 7. Middlesex has the ball on the Eisenhower 46, 2nd and 16.
Well, there's one thing I do know, Brian. Neither team's fans right now are probably too thrilled with officials. Which if you're the officials, you'd rather have it that way than be lopsided.
You're either making everybody happy or nobody happy. As long as you're doing that, you're doing your job.
Yep, that's usually how it goes.
So here we go. Middlesex comes out of the timeout. Again, 2nd and 16 from the Eisenhower 46. 1:09 to go, fourth quarter of this District 10 Class 1A semifinal game. Knights and Big Reds are tied at 7. Tate's in the gun, has 3 receivers to his right. Ian Smith in the backfield with him. Tate takes the snap, drops back, fires over the middle, and it is caught by Eddie Lowe. Eddie Lowe is taken down at the 10 by Trevor Welker, but West Middlesex has 1st and goal from the 10-yard line with 59 seconds to go. They do not have any timeouts. 59 seconds to go. 1st and goal for West Middlesex.
You're under a minute to play.
The clock winds. Middlesex in the huddle. 50 seconds to go. 4th quarter. Tie game, 7-7.
Brian, that's what we were talking about, that big play.
Tate in the gun.
Tate back in the shotgun.
And he's going to keep it. Black egregiously held. There is no flag on the play. I could see Cale Black's shoulder pads from here. The jersey was pulled so far, but there's no flag. Tate gets around the edge.
Yeah, Black was almost
Clock is still running. We're under 30 seconds. 20 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Officials can't get the ball spotted. 17 seconds. Middlesex spikes it.
Spikes the ball there.
So now it'll be 3rd down with 13 seconds to go.
So that'll make it 3rd down. We're down to 13.4 seconds.
13.4 seconds to go. 3rd down for Middlesex from the 10-yard line. They just spiked the ball. They've got time for one play if it's incomplete. I'm not sure why the officials are letting them huddle on the sideline. Middlesex does not have a timeout here.
They don't have a timeout.
And there's a penalty flag. West Middlesex did not have any timeouts left. The officials throw the flag. And the West Middlesex sideline is hot.
Looks to be a little bit of confusion over there.
But in essence, Middlesex is getting a free timeout with 13 seconds to go. They're going to get backed up 5 yards. But essentially, with 13 seconds and no timeouts, you got one time, take a shot to the end zone. As long as it falls incomplete, you get the touchdown, you're going to have time to potentially line up for a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if I'm not sure if they would intentionally take a delay of game there, but really that 5 yards, it's hard to say how much of an impact that's going to have because they're going to be gunning for the end zone right here. They're not trying to pick up a 1st down or anything.
And officials are still conferring over what we're going to do here. There seems to be a lot of confusion on what the call should be. And now they're calling everybody in. We wait to see what the call. The initial signal was just delay a game. So at some point, Middlesex is going to lose some yardage. The question seems to be exactly how much. So it looks like they've got it figured out. And they're going to mark off the penalty to the 15. So 13.4 seconds to go. West Middlesex has the ball. 3rd and 15. Tie game, 7-7. Tate in the gun. Drops back to pass. And he fires for the end zone. And it is overthrown, incomplete. Incomplete. 6 seconds to go.
There's enough time here. It's fourth down, though.
It is fourth down for West Middlesex.
4th and goal. A little bit of snow coming down. It all comes down to this for Eisenhower to hang on, send this game into overtime.
And West Middlesex is bringing the field goal unit on the field. It is going to be number 5, Chris Smith. Line of scrimmage is the 15. This is essentially a 32-yard field goal to send West Middlesex to the District 10 Class 1A title game. And Eisenhower coach Jim Penley calls the timeout. Going to try to ice that kicker.
Icing the kicker, and it's freezing cold outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can get much colder than it is right now. But Eisenhower coach Jim Penley does call the timeout. 6.6 seconds to go. Eisenhower, West Middlesex tied at 7. West Middlesex 4th and goal from the 15.
This is a big call by West Middlesex. Eisenhower's front defensive linemen, man, they are getting penetration quite a lot here in this last couple of series, just like we've seen all year. And Tate has been able to escape that penetration, but you know, here with the field goal kick, I would not be surprised if Eisenhower is able to disrupt this kick.
So from the 15, it is going to be about a 32-yard field goal attempt for number 5, Chris Smith. If he makes it, West Middlesex goes to the District 10 Class 1A championship game next week. If it's no good, we're going to go to overtime. Here we go. 4th and goal from the 15. Smith on for the 32-yard field goal to send the Big Reds to the District 10 title game. Snap is down. Hold his kick. Kick is no good. No good. Eisenhower recovers. Smith couldn't get the ball over the line of scrimmage. No good. 3.4 seconds to go. And unless Eisenhower wants to take a gamble and go for it all, we're going to head to overtime, Cody.
You know, Brian, we joked about going to overtime earlier, and here we are.
So Eisenhower takes over. 3.4 seconds to go.
What a stop for Eisenhower's defense there. You know, we've seen them make a lot of big defensive plays all year, but we've also questioned the offenses that they've faced. They haven't had to face a lot of high prolific offenses. So for them to step up in the final seconds of the 4th quarter with a tie game, the game on the line, that's huge, and that shows the composure that Penley has instilled in these guys.
So if you're Eisenhower, do you take the knee and go to overtime?
I think you take the knee.
Eisenhower has the ball.
So Trumbull will come out in the gun. Black to his left. 3 receivers left. Trumbull takes a snag. They are going to go for it. Benson down the field looking for Zane Alexander, and it is caught. Caught, but we are out of time. Eisenhower went for it. They digged the gamble and almost got away with it. Trumbull throws it to Benson. Benson down the field to Zane Alexander. The ball was caught, but no time left.
We will go to overtime.
So this District 10 Class 1A semifinal, Eisenhower, West Middlesex tied at 7. We're going to head to overtime. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with you for the extra football. This is District 10 football on D9and10sports.com, powered by the Eisenhower Football Boosters. Need some pizza and wings to go with the game? Then head to the Bucket Cafe at 14 Main Street in Sugar Grove. Great food, great staff, and great prices. The Bucket now offers online ordering. Check them out on Facebook or call 814-489-5000. Wilcox Brothers True Value in Sugar Grove, PA is your locally owned hardware store. We're proud to be a member of the True Value family, and we're here to serve our community. Whether you're a pro or taking on a DIY home improvement project for the first time, we're right here in your neighborhood with the expert advice, tools, equipment, and the products you need to get the job done. Wilcox Brothers True Value in Sugar Grove, PA. We're here to help. Come in and see us today.
Looking for a great holiday gift? Need to find the just right arrangement for your special occasion. How about the perfect complement for homecoming or prom? Then head to Suline Creations in Sugar Grove. At Suline Creations, we have flowers for all occasions and gifts for every holiday. We will help make your wedding day spectacular and the prom unforgettable. Call 814-489-7868. Stop into our shop at 6584 Matthews Run Road in Sugar Grove or visit us on Facebook. Suline Creations is a proud sponsor of Eisenhower football, band, and cheer.
At Pine Grove Auto Sales, located in Russell, we take pride in the way we do business. We focus 100% on our customers and believe car buying should be a fun, hassle-free experience. Our impressive selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs is sure to meet your needs. We'd like to thank you for considering Pine Grove Auto for your next vehicle purchase. Contact us today at 814-757-7030 or visit us at 7160 Market Street in Russell.
D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters would like to thank the following for helping bring you tonight's game: Briggs Transport, IWF, Sue and Jean Wilston, Kathy Briggs, Linbro Holsteins and Dairy, Porter Trucking, Carlson Auto Repair, Barney and Barb Alexander, Marion Littlefield, Justin and Amanda Darr, Doris and Skip Trumbull, Timberline Farms, Lottsville Milling, Warren General Hospital, Neil's Propane, Matt Alexander, Sue Dunkel, the Bunk family, the Hamilton family, Jane and Becky Stewart, Samantha Wooden, Primerica Financial Services, Marty and Debbie Lillestead, Joe and Joe Scully, Donna Fry, the Lindemuth family, Corey and Wendy McQueen, Alice Wooden, Tom and Debbie Wooden, Dean and Karen Morton, November Dunn, Jerry and Sean Yeager, Guts and Glory Pulling, Jeanette Haskins, Kenzie Dunn, Precision Precut, Larry and Peggy Willis, Sue Crosby, Larry and Missy Willis, Don and Pam Schreckengost, Trudy Bull, Lori Rulander, Chad and Linda Abbott, Grandma Wenzel, and Conrad Haltman. Tonight's broadcast was made possible through your generosity. Thank you from all of us at D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9 and 10 Sports.com radio network.
So we are back here at Eisenhower High School getting set for overtime here in this District 10 Class 1A football semifinal playoff between the Knights and the West Middlesex Big Reds. Game is tied at 7. West Middlesex will have the ball first in overtime. High school football overtime rules. Each team starts from the 10. Tate back to pass. Fires over the middle. He's got a man in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Chris Smith for West Middlesex. And a lot of motion on that play. Tate ends up keeping the ball, finds Smith in the back of the end zone, and Middlesex strikes one play, 10 yards. Tate to Smith for the touchdown. The extra point is pending.
Scored on their possession. Let's see if they go for 1 or 2 for the extra point.
And it looks like West Middlesex is going to go for 2 here.
They're going to go for 2.
Tate in the gun.
Not too surprising, Brian, after that field goal attempt.
Oh, they jump
and there's a false start for West Middlesex. So that's going to back them up on the point after attempt.
The ball at the 8-yard line.
And this is a big play because we do know if Eisenhower is able to get the touchdown, if they hold West Middlesex here, Jake Venman perfectly capable of hitting an extra point. Man in motion is Johnson. Tate back to pass. Fires over the middle. He's got a man, and it is caught. 2-point conversion is good. It's Smith again. So Chris Smith gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. West Middlesex in overtime now leads Eisenhower 15-7. The Knights will take over. First and goal from the 10.
No pressure for Eisenhower here, right, Brian?
None at all.
To see if they can do the same.
But Eisenhower will have to come out, score a touchdown, and get a 2-point conversion to keep this game going.
Going into this overtime, I was thinking that both quarterbacks were key to these two teams. And Tate proved it right there. 2 pinpoint passes. Now it's time for Owen Trumbull to step up. Both these quarterbacks are so athletic, and they're such good passers.
So Eisenhower now comes out on offense. They trail 15-7 in overtime. The winner of this game goes to the District 10 Class 1A Championship next week. Trumbull in the gun, Black to his left. Alexander in motion. And Trumbull's going to keep it off the left side, picks up a block. Trumbull trying to get the edge, spins down. Looks like he is down right at the 5-yard line. So it'll be second down for Eisenhower as they're trying to tie this game up. West Middlesex, Ty Tate to Chris Smith for both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Gave the Big Reds a 15-7 lead here in overtime. Second down now for Eisenhower. Trumbull in the gun. Benson in motion. And the give is to Black up the middle. Cale Black trying to pick his way in. Cale Black on his feet. He scores. Cale Black would not be denied on that play. He goes 5 yards. And now it is the 2-point conversion, Cody. They have to get it to keep this game going.
Cale Black utilizing his power just as he has all season, coming up huge in overtime. Now it's the biggest play in Eisenhower's season.
So
here we go. 15-13. West Middlesex leads. 2-point conversion pending. We are in overtime. Trumbull in the gun. Black to his left. Benson split out to the right. And Trumbull's going to keep it. Trumbull goes up and over, and he's in. We are tied and going to another overtime.
I don't know if I expected Trumbull to do a flip, but he did.
But he did, and he got in. And it is now 15-15. And we're going to go to another overtime period. What a ball game, Cody. I'll tell you. These kids are putting it all on the line.
And both of them, both teams here in overtime scoring in different ways. West Middlesex taking advantage of the passing game, and then Eisenhower taking advantage of what has suited them all year, and that is the running game.
So let's reset. Cale Black scores on the opening possession for Eisenhower from 9 yards. Ty Tate answers early second quarter from 5 yards. We're scoreless for the remainder of the game until overtime. Ty Tate for Middlesex finds Chris Smith in the end zone on the pass for both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Eisenhower answers with a 5-yard run by Cale Black, and then the conversion run where Owen Trumbull leapt up and over the line of scrimmage to tie the game 15-15. So in the second overtime, Eisenhower will have the ball first.
A lot of fireworks in the final couple minutes here, Brian.
So first and goal for Eisenhower from the 10. Trumbull in the gun. Fakes to Black, and he gives it to Alexander, and Alexander is cut down. Looks like just inside the 5.
I'm going to say he's down to maybe the
Looked like Tate was the one who came over and cut him down, stopped him from getting in the end zone. Looks like he got down to the 4, so that's where it will be second down for Eisenhower. Trumbull in the gun, Black to his right, 2 receivers left. Trumbull takes a snap, fakes to Black, tries to go up the middle, and it is not happening this time.
Very quickly, maybe even a slight loss.
And Trumbull is hurt, grabbing at the leg. And this is not what you want to see if you're Eisenhower. They do pull him up quickly. He's up. The trainers did not come out to him, so he will not have to come out for a play, but it is now third down.
Yeah, Trumbull popped up he had about a second to get back up there before he was going to have to take off a play.
Probably back around the 5-yard line now.
So the loss on second down moves the ball back to the 5.
Third and 5 for the
It's
Knights.
third down for Eisenhower.
And it looked like, Brian, on that last play there was a little bit of confusion.
Trumbull in the gun. And he's going to take it up the left side. Trumbull's got space, looking for the pylon. He gets it. Owen Trumbull in for the Eisenhower touchdown. So now we'll see, does Eisenhower go for 2, or do they kick it? Jim Penley holding up the 1. They're going to send Jake Venman on for the extra point here.
As you alluded to earlier, Brian, Venman's been money all season long. He's a heck of a kicker. So I'm not overly surprised that Penley decided to kick here and take the sure extra point.
Trumbull to hold. Venman for the extra point. We're in the second overtime of the District 10 Class 1A semifinal between Eisenhower and West Middlesex. Owen Trumbull's touchdown run has given Eisenhower a 21-15 lead. Snap is down, hold is up, kick is up, and it is good for Jake Venman. Eisenhower now leads 22-15. West Middlesex will have the ball from the 10. They need a touchdown and an extra point to keep the game going. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion would send the Big Reds to the District 10 title game. And now Eisenhower, which has relied on his defense all season long, needs him to come up one more time here.
Well, Tate is, we were talking about earlier, Tate is a phenomenal athlete. So if Eisenhower is going to try to pressure the quarterback, they're going to go for the sack. They're going to have to disrupt the pass or get him down for the sack. Letting Tate find an open receiver has not worked out well for Eisenhower all game, certainly not on their last set.
Tate drops back to pass. He's looking, still under pressure, fires out of the back of the end zone. There is a flag down on the play. We'll see what the penalty is here. It is a hold on West Middlesex.
$130 penalty yards for West Middlesex tonight.
So that's going to back them up to the 20, or excuse me, the 25. That penalty was from the 15. So that's going to back them up to the 25. It will be first down.
So with that penalty, the ball is going to be spotted on about the 25-yard line now.
So first and goal from the 25 for West Middlesex.
That was a huge, huge penalty. Certainly 25 yards, a big difference between 10.
Tate comes out. He's got 3 receivers to his right. He drops back to pass. Under pressure. Fires. And the ball is caught inside the 5. What a catch. But Eddie Lowe just adjusted on the ball in midair. Tate just threw it up there. Looked like he was up for grabs, and Lowe comes down with the catch at the 5-yard line. 20 yards on the play makes it second and goal from the 5 for West Middlesex.
So they gain it all back and then some on that.
I'll tell you, Brian, I'm not really sure how he caught that. It must have went through at least one Eisenhower defender's hands.
Second and goal from the 5. Tate under center. And the give is up the middle to Johnson. Johnson is in for the score.
All right, so West Middlesex scores on that play.
So now the decision for West Middlesex. Do you go for the 2 and the win, or do you try to kick the extra point and send this game to a third overtime?
So let's see what happens. Do they go for 1 to tie it?
And they are going to talk it over. West Middlesex takes a timeout.
Well, they converted the 2-point conversion on the last touchdown fairly easily. Really, the only time that we saw the kicker out here, it did not go well for West Middlesex. I think they're on the road. They're gonna try to finish this game and go on into the playoffs.
And you got to think, if you're Eisenhower, even if they line up for the extra point, you got to play for the fake, just in case. But we'll see. West Middlesex is talking it over. In the second overtime, Eisenhower leads 22-21. Point after on the touchdown run from Johnson is pending. West Middlesex can tie the game with an extra point. They can win and go to the District 10 championship next week with a 2-point conversion. Both teams now, you got to think, Cody, trying to come up with their best play on their side of the ball.
Well, Ian, we've talked about it all night, the big play. Which team's going to come up with the big play is going to win this game. Now, here in the last few minutes, we've had a lot of big plays, but now it's all about the big play, the biggest play.
And West Middlesex sends the offense on the field. They are going to go for the win. Tate in the gun, 2 receivers each side. Snap is high. Tate comes down with it, rolling right, looking, fires, and it is! There's a flag, no good. The pass is incomplete, but there's a flag in the end zone. Flag down in the end zone. What a huge penalty. Flag in the end zone on an incomplete pass. And it is pass interference against Eisenhower, so we're going to do it again. Big Reds will be a yard closer. Season on the line for both teams. Eisenhower leads 22-21 in overtime.
A little closer to the goal line, and
West Middlesex going for two.
Another try.
Winner goes to the District 10 Class 1A championship next week.
And
Eisenhower's going to call a timeout and talk it over. And Cody, that's been the story of this game. Penalties are wiping out the big plays.
They are, Brian. I like this timeout by Penley here. That was a pretty emotional 15 seconds for Eisenhower. They thought they won the game. There's a penalty, kind of sucked the wind out of them. This was a good call. Get your defense calm down and get them prepared because they got one shot here.
So it is 22-21. Eisenhower leads West Middlesex, District 10 Class 1A semifinals. Winner goes on to the District 10 title game next week. We'll play either Reynolds or Cambridge Springs. West Middlesex looking for a 2-point conversion to win the game. They'll get it and go on, or they'll miss it, and Eisenhower advances. There was an incomplete pass on the first attempt, but a defensive pass interference penalty gives West Middlesex new life here.
And I feel like I'm a broken record here, but this really rests on the shoulders of Tate right now. The athleticism he brings to the table, you have to think this play goes through him.
Here we go.
Ty Tate going to come out under center.
Tate under center.
He takes the snap, gives it up the middle, and it is no good! No good! Eisenhower wins it! Eisenhower will go to the District 10 Class 1A championship. What a stop from the Knights defense on the 2-point attempt. After the penalty.
All season long, Brian, we have talked about that defensive line. We've wondered if they would step up in the big moment when they face adversity, and they proved it right there that they could, and they did.
All season long, the Knights have relied on that big front four defensively. And with the season on the line, they come up with a big stop on the 2-point conversion to send the Knights to the District 10 Class 1A championship here next week. What a game. What an effort from West Middlesex. What an effort from Eisenhower. Everything you could want in a playoff football game.
It really was, Brian. You know, we've spent all season pretty much covering games that have been lopsided, and I think we made up for it tonight. This was a phenomenal game. From a broadcasting standpoint, it's a dream coverage.
So from Eisenhower High School, the final score, Eisenhower 22. West Middlesex 21 in double overtime. Knights will advance to the District 10 Class 1A championship next week. They get either Reynolds or Cambridge Springs. We'll try to get you a score on that game in the post-game show brought to you by the Rehab Center. What a game. What a win for Eisenhower. This is high school football on D910sports.com. We'll be right back with the Rehab Center post-game show.
Wilcox Brothers True Value in Sugar Grove, PA is your locally owned hardware store. We're proud to be a member of the True Value family, and we're here to serve our community. Whether you're a pro or taking on a DIY home improvement project for the first time, we're right here in your neighborhood with the expert advice, tools, equipment, and the products you need to get the job done. Wilcox Brothers True Value in Sugar Grove, PA. We're here to help. Come in and see us today.
Paul Mary Financial Group was established to bring a holistic planning approach to the areas we serve. Using the financial planning process, we are able to ascertain our clients' financial goals and objectives, then develop a plan to pursue those goals and objectives. We look to building lasting relationships with our clients and take pride in the accomplishments of the goals they have set. Contact them today at 814-230-9055 or visit them at 224 Liberty Street in Warren.
Chris Rossetti here to tell you a little bit about All-American Awards and Engraving in Chippenville. When I first met Jim Carroll in 2006, All-American Awards and Engraving was just getting started. Since then, the company has grown into the area's premier shop for embroidery, screen printing, and engraving, graphic design work, and personalized gift ideas. As Jim has always said, they'll put almost anything on almost everything, and they really do mean that. Give them a call today at 814-782-6264. Hi, this is Chris Rossetti from D910sports.com. If you're like me, you may have experienced some aches and pains like a sore back, a stiff neck, or a wonky knee. Well, I've got the place for you. The Rehab Center with 6 convenient locations, including in Brookville, Clarion, and Katanning, is the place to go. The friendly staff and knowledgeable doctors will get you back in the game quicker than quick. I know, I've been going to them since 2009. So the next time your back, neck, knee, shoulder, or anything else acts up, call them for an appointment at 724-478-1501.
Need some pizza and wings to go with the game? Then head to the Bucket Cafe at 14 Main Street in Sugar Grove. Great food, great staff, and great prices. The Bucket now offers online ordering. Check them out on Facebook or call 814-489-5000.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9 and 10sports.com radio network.
Welcome into the Rehab Center post-game show. Brian Hagberg and Cody Elms here for you on D9 and 10sports.com at Eisenhower High School, where the Eisenhower Knights have just advanced to the District 10 Class 1A championship game with a thrilling 22-21 victory in double overtime over West Middlesex. You can see the elation on the Knights' faces as they left the handshake line, and just heartbreak for West Middlesex. And, and Cody, the old Wide World of Sports ABC, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat was absolutely on display here at Eisenhower High School tonight. Congratulations to the Knights. They'll play for the District 10 championship next week. And West Middlesex has absolutely nothing to hang their heads about. What a fantastic ball game.
Oh, it was phenomenal. And Ty Tate, penalties really hurt Ty Tate's stat line tonight, because he had some huge passes that were called back, some big runs that were called back. And that kid played a phenomenal game tonight against a very tough Eisenhower defense.
And speaking of his stat line, do you have some stats for us for the game? Stats tonight brought to you by Wilcox Brothers, True Value in Sugar Grove.
Well, I have Eisenhower's offensive stats right now. Trumbull, pretty low numbers compared to what we're used to, but in a game like this, you'll take it. Trumbull was 7 for 15 with 76 yards passing, but he had 14 carries for 49 yards and that overtime touchdown. Cale Black, leading rusher, 15 carries for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, so those are the Eisenhower stats. The scoring summary for tonight: Cale Black had a 9-yard run on Eisenhower's opening possession to give the Knights a 7-0 lead. Ty Tate tied it in the second quarter with a 5-yard run, and that was it through the end of regulation. In overtime, Ty Tate to Chris Smith for a touchdown and 2-point conversion. Eisenhower answered with a Cale Black 5-yard run, and Owen Trumbull going up and over into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And then again, in double overtime, the Knights get another touchdown. Oh, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize, losing my voice here this evening. It's been that kind of ball game. But the Knights get the touchdown, and Jake Venman gets what turns out to be the game-winning extra point. West Middlesex answers with a Johnson touchdown run in double overtime, but the run on the 2-point conversion is stuffed at the line of scrimmage by the Eisenhower defense. Your final 22-21 Knights win. Cody, you have the West Middlesex stats for us.
Really, the offense for West Middlesex started and ended with Ty Tate. As I was talking earlier, he had 11. He was 11 for 22 passing with 191 yards, and he had a touchdown there. And he was the leading rusher. He had 38 yards off of 11 carries and scored a touchdown on the ground.
Okay. So our stats tonight were brought to you by Wilcox Brothers, True Value in Sugar Grove. The scoring summary brought to you by All-American Awards and Engraving. And now, Cody, it is time to name the Jim Kelly Player of the Game, powered by the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg. And Cody, who do you have for us tonight?
Well, a little unorthodox. I think we better go with the entire defensive line for the Eisenhower Knights tonight. That stop on that 2-point conversion, I mean, I don't think there's a play in this game comparable to how big that play was. And they stepped up huge, and they did, all of the defensive line deserves it, and the entire defense deserves some credit for that play.
Okay, so the Jim Kelly Player of the Game, powered by the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg, goes to the defensive line of the Eisenhower Knights. We're working to get the out-of-town scoreboard for you so we can see who the Knights will take on next week in the District 10 Class 1A championship game. We'll get those scores for you here in just a second. The out-of-town scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Swift Kennedy and Company. Swift Kennedy and Company, the official insurance provider of D9and10sports.com. So Eisenhower, with its win over West Middlesex, will go to the District 10 Class 1A championship, and they will face Reynolds. Reynolds was a 40-0 winner over Cambridge Springs in the other semifinal game tonight. In other games of note in the playoffs, District 9 Class 2A championship, Karnes City comes back to beat Brookville 16-14. In the District 5-9 Class 3A sub-regional, Bedford beats Clearfield 40-21. Around District 10 in the Class 3A semifinals, Grove City was a 30-0 winner over Fort LaBeouf. Hickory 51-0 over Slippery Rock. Those two teams will meet for the Class 3A title. In the District 6-8-9 sub-regional, Juniata beat Bellefonte 24-21. In regular season action, it's Punxsy over DuBois 7-0. Otto Eldred tops Bradford 39-13. Port Allegheny 44-6 winner over Cameron County. West Branch leads Kerwinsville 21-14 in the fourth quarter. Mercer was a 32-8 winner over Cochranton. Sharpsville blanked Greenville 21-0. Sagertown with a 48-0 win over Seneca. Maplewood tops Union City 30-14. Fairview with a 21-20 win over Northeast. McDowell sweeps Cathedral Prep on the season with a 24-6 win. Penns Valley beats Bald Eagle Area 20-0, and Phillipsburg Osceola 34, Bucktail 14. Erie and Butler were supposed to play tonight. That game was canceled. Erie dealing with some COVID-related issues. Tomorrow in District 9, the Class 1A championship pits Red Bank Valley against Smethport at Verichetti Field in Brockway. That game kicks off at 1 p.m. The D10 Class 2A championship should be a doozy. Farrell at Wilmington. Round 3, 7 p.m. kickoff. Wilmington's taken the first two, but the last one was by a point. We'll see if Farrell can break through. In the District 10 Class 4A championship, it's Harbor Creek at Oil City. That game kicks at 7 p.m. And the District 6 Class 3A title game, Tyrone versus Central Martinsburg at Mansion Park in Altoona. That game also kicks at 7 p.m. Elsewhere around District 10 and 9, Lakeview's at Franklin, Girard's at Corey, and Northwestern is at Mercyhurst Prep at Veterans Stadium. All three of those games kick at 1 p.m. Montauk is at Warren for a 7 p.m. kickoff tomorrow night on Halloween. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you tonight by Swift Kennedy and Company. Swift Kennedy and Company, the official insurance provider of D9and10sports.com. Cody, do you have any final thoughts from today's game?
I don't know if any final thoughts can be said about the ending of this game, but I just want to give a little shout out to West Middlesex. I know these kids right now, they probably feel depleted. They're not feeling their best, but they also need to understand that they played a heck of a game, and it just as easily could have went their way. They had a very, very strong season. They played tough against Reynolds twice this year, lost both those, but they played them tough, and Reynolds is a very good team. So there's nothing to be ashamed by for West Middlesex. And again, Ty Tate, absolutely the stud on their offense.
Okay, so again, we do want to say thank you to everyone who donated to help make tonight's broadcast possible. We cannot thank you enough. We would not be here. We wouldn't be on the air if it was not for your generosity. And we do want to add to our list PGE and Ernie and Mary Carlson. Again, thank you so much from everybody at D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters. For Cody Elms, this is Brian Hagberg. Eisenhower, 22-21, double overtime win over West Middlesex. They'll play Reynolds in the District 10 Class 1A championship game next week. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and we hope you all have a great evening. Thank you again from all of us at D9and10sports.com.
You're listening to High School Sports on the D9and10sports.com radio network.
D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters would like to thank the following for helping bring you tonight's game: Briggs Transport, IWF, Sue and Jean Wilston, Kathy Briggs, Linbro Holsteins and Dairy, Porter Trucking, Carlson Auto Repair, Barney and Barb Alexander, Marion Littlefield, Justin and Amanda Darr, Doris and Skip Trumbull, Timberline Farms, Lottsville Milling, Warren General Hospital, Neil's Propane, Matt Alexander, Sue Dunkel, the Bunk family, the Hamilton family, Jane and Becky Stewart, Samantha Wooden, Primerica Financial Services, Marty and Debbie Lillistead, Joe and Joe Scully, Donna Fry, the Lindemuth family, Corey and Wendy McQueen, Alice Wooden, Tom and Debbie Wooden, Dean and Karen Morton, November Dunn, Jerry and Sean Yeager, Guts and Glory Pulling, Jeanette Haskins, Kenzie Dunn, Precision Precut, Larry and Peggy Willis, Sue Crosby, Larry and Missy Willis, Don and Pam Schreckengost, Trudy Bull, Lori Rulander, Chad and Linda Abbott, Grandma Wenzel, and Conrad Haltman. Tonight's broadcast was made possible through your generosity. Thank you from all of us at D9 and 10 Sports and the Eisenhower Football Boosters.